Good evening. Hello. So, first on the agenda for this evening is to elect a chairman for the parish council.
Well, I propose Michelle stays, if she wants to.
She's happy. I would second that.
Okay.
Hang on, wait, who's the first?
So,
Who's
Sue.
I did Sue.
and second there was?
Me. Yeah.
Okay. Right, yeah, I'm just going to write this because I forgot to bring it with me.
so I guess we need to take a vote, please. Okay. Everyone agrees for me the chair, yeah? Thank you. There you go, unanimous.
Great.
I need to sign something.
Yes, you do. I thought there was something.
Okay.
And you thought. Thank you. If you sign and date.
Yeah.
The 23rd.
Okay, so we shall carry on. And number 2, to elect a vice chairman for parish council. So, do we?
I'd like to propose Sue.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay.
So
Second it. Can I second it, John? Yeah,
Yeah.
John seconded it.
Okay. Anyone else that would like to propose for vice?
Tony?
Okay. Second, anybody? Okay. I'm going to have to second it then, aren't I? Okay. Me. Okay.
Hang on.
So we need to take a vote, please, on Sue for vice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. And Tony for vice.
1, 2.
Okay.
You can't vote for yourself though, can you?
Yes,
Yeah,
you
you
can.
can.
Oh, did you vote for yourself then?
Well, I'll vote
She
for
didn't
Sue.
vote for us then.
It's like Turkey
Okay.
Christmas.
Okay, so it's Sue.
That's not friendly, sorry Tony. That's
Yes.
not
So
friendly.
Sue is our vice chair.
Okay.
Mhm.
Do your best.
She needs to sign.
No,
No.
doesn't
Okay.
have that privilege.
Right. So
Apologies.
to receive
None.
and accept apologies, we have none this evening. So any declarations of interest from any members of the
Yes,
council?
yeah, 21.1. Ditto, I'm a member of the Bonfire Society.
As am I.
Oh, so am I.
Yeah,
Oh.
so 4 of us.
So
So we have John, Julian,
Julian.
Pete, and
Which
Sue.
is Pete?
This is
Pete.
Pete
That's me.
and
And
Sue.
Sue. Okay.
Okay, any more? Okay. So, minutes. To receive and approve the minutes of the last meeting. So with regards to the extraordinary meeting that we had,
Yeah, what?
minutes were obviously not at the time, and she went into
Yeah, no minutes then.
the minutes.
With regard to the minutes, I'd like to point out one item on there actually, which I didn't say, but was recorded. What I said was not Bob. Hopefully it will not involve the clerk in any extra work, and not what was put down as being impact on the clerk's workload. That was a misrepresentation of what I said.
What number, please?
That would be FC 24 355, to do with the biodiversity.
355.
Would
So
not
the
impact on the clerk's workload.
And
is
what
it
would you
says.
like?
What I said was hopefully it will not involve the clerk in any extra work, which is not the same.
Could I just raise FC 24357, which is to do with the new bench? It's down for St Francis Field, and I don't understand why, because it's not on St Francis Field. It's going to be down opposite
The
Wills, isn't it?
opposite DIY, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is there
Yeah,
someone
this
else?
isn't, yeah, this isn't
Yes.
correct.
FC 24
That is not
slash
correct.
357.
So we need to change that because it's actually going to be on the green opposite the DIY shop. Okay, anything else?
I suppose it's a point of interest just over on FC 24-365, the posts outside Jensen's is now being taken up by the Conservation Society.
Oh, so these are minutes of what happened at the meeting, so
Yeah.
if you know that after the meeting,
it
you
can't
have to
change things.
mention it
Okay.
at
Yeah,
this
I think so.
meeting
Okay, yeah,
as an update sort
Yeah.
of thing, is that all right?
yeah.
Okay, lovely.
If
Okay.
you're happy with that,
Apart from that, I'm all good with the rest.
yep.
Don't let me
Is
forget.
everyone happy with the rest? Yeah. Yeah.
Can we have a show of hands so I can just count? I'm using my hands. It's all of you.
Pen again. Terrible. Thanks.
Yep.
Okay.
Excuse me, it's just been pointed out to me by one of our eagle-eyed residents that it says on our agenda, Parish Council on Thursday the 23rd of May 2023.
Oh,
It does as
apologies.
well. Look at that.
Sorry, it's because I started on the 2023. Thank you. Please be thorough in checking the dates. I do like that.
Okay, so on to the terms of reference for the working groups. So the finance and human resources terms of reference. Has everyone received them and read them through?
So as it's a working group, it doesn't have any authority. So that's the difference with the working group. You discuss things and then you bring it back to the council for decisions.
Yeah.
So as you have told me, quite a few different people said they are working groups. I deleted as much as that wasn't appropriate. So have you got any thoughts there?
I think it's better that. I think it's better that way.
Any
to be
thoughts on
honest.
what I took out, or you're happy with it? I didn't do much to this one.
No,
You happy?
I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
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 Okay. So you can sign that, even though it's draft.
Anywhere,
Yes.
Madame?
Every page. Sorry, can you delete it on one of them,
Yeah.
please?
By all means. Okay, so has everyone looked at the one for St Francis Fields while I'm signing away?
No, I've got a point for that one.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Thank you, Ken.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
That's all right.
I'm a pen thief, by the way. Everyone, just so you know.
Michelle.
I never. Oh,
Oh,
thanks.
thank you.
Thanks, Paul.
So-
Which point are you?
The thing I think that's missing on possibly on the St Francis Field Working Group is there's no mention of the group ever reporting back to council.
Oh,
And
okay.
And I think it would be quite useful as they're meeting on a monthly basis.
Absolutely,
for
we
the-
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Because
the whole
over-
point of it.
Because over the last year, whilst the liaison group's been operating, the rest of us in council haven't really been given. We've had updates from the CIC occasionally, but nothing.
Yeah,
As
I
a
think
sort of-
that's the whole point of going forward. I think we need to do that with all of them.
Yeah.
It's been the same
Yeah,
with the
it is.
playground and
Underwood,
the
yeah.
and the football, everything.
Yeah.
They've all been the
Just
same.
some
So I
sort
think
of-
absolutely.
A monthly report at meetings, I think.
Yeah,
Doesn't
I
need
think
to
that's.
be a long one, just where we,
Oh, yeah, I agree. I think that's the good bit about it being a
Yeah.
working group rather than a
Yeah.
committee as well, because that way about we do have to report because there is no
yeah.
responsibility of making
Yeah.
decisions
Yeah.
effectively.
But
That
also
way
if it-
everyone's kept in the loop.
But if it's on the agenda as a regular monthly thing, that also encourages the group
Yeah, of course, to
things
keep their
moving,
meetings. Yeah,
keep things moving forward.
yeah.
Okay,
I'll
I
give
put
her
that
that.
under remit. I couldn't really work
Yeah.
out which was the best, but it's on
Okay.
So,
there.
no. Okay, so is everyone else happy?
Any
Yeah.
other comments?
No.
No, we're good? Perfect. To read the scheme of a delegation.
Oh yeah, I didn't do anything with that. I don't really know what you need, so. Oh yes, I haven't. It's the same as last year. So have you got
Okay.
any?
Anyone got any
No.
points on that?
No.
No?
Happy
It's
with
a
it.
scheme.
Okay, so appointment of members for the working groups. We haven't, Mary and I just noticed, we haven't got the football pavilion one on
recreation
here,
one.
recreation one on here. And we we do have the St Francis Field one, but so we obviously need to discuss that as well, but next time. So,
Members, yes.
but we
So
can
that would
appoint,
mean, do you,
we need to appoint members.
you need, so you'll also need a terms of reference as well, then?
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so members of it.
So we'll deal with that
Terms.
next meeting
Yeah.
if that's okay.
Yeah,
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And remember, down the loop is probably going to be one for the playground
Correct.
and for the natural burial ground.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll need reference,
Terms of
form
reference for
references
those.
but they'll be the simple ones, just with
So, Finance and Human Resources Working Group. Who would like to be on those? On that? Jackie?
Yes.
Jackie, Tony, Carol.
Jackie,
Tony, Carol, Pete.
uh,
No?
okay, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Well, it's quite a few, that's all right though, it's only one more than three. That's fine, you're not voting, you're just working together, that's fine.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, and St Francis Fields. I can stay on that one.
I'd like to nominate Julian because potentially over the next year there's a lot of planning stuff coming up, so it would make sense to have somebody with a
Thank you.
planning head on.
Yeah.
So,
fine.
Okay, we've got Tony, Jackie, Julian want to as well, so
Tony,
You have more than three. Do you want?
this is my thing, how many do you want?
so are you on there as well?
Yeah.
Michelle,
Yeah.
Julian, Bob, Tony and Jackie, that is a lot of you.
Okay.
well, Michelle would be ex officio because she's
Correct.
chair anyway.
Oh, okay,
So,
So
that
you've
is,
got the four,
okay, fine,
yeah?
Yep.
So Julian, Bob, Tony and Jackie. Are we all happy with that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
long as you're happy with that.
Oh, as you're so many, can I ask you to raise your hand so I can see? I can't catch you all nodding at the
Oh,
same
right.
time.
Oh, you
Yeah,
mean not-
yeah,
nodding.
when you agree something, yeah.
Sorry,
Thank
you must
you.
not nod.
I just can't catch everyone nodding at the same time.
Okay, good. So we'll move on to the other working groups in the next meeting, yeah? Okay, so review and agree following policies. Standing orders.
Oh, right, so the ones I sent out to you, I did away a bit before I actually met Michelle for the agenda review, and I didn't think about it until I was printing it off, and I thought, oh, they don't have committees anymore. So I have suggested alterfication to the section that's to do with staff, because this is where your committee comes in to your standing orders, and I have just removed where it says, every time it says, is being considered by a meeting of the Finance and, well, you didn't have a staffing committee, Finance and Human Resources Committee. I've changed it to Finance and Human Resources Working Group, right? So you do need to have a group of people set up because this is the group of people that will decide, deal with any staffing grievances, any staffing complaints, or complaints against staff, or however it works. So, but I have, as you are all using working groups here, I have actually changed it to wherever it says that the old committee would have agreed the action, I've actually changed it to it will be a full council decision. So once again, you'll be all doing the procedure and following some of the indicated rules and whatever your disciplinary policy is. But if you do actually have a disciplinary hearing, you only have a few days to get your official answer out. So you don't, you'll have to have an extraordinary meeting. So is that understood? So apart from these pages, this page here, which has changed all the committees to finance and working groups, the only other alteration from last year's is the threshold being with regard to public works that the government raised in February from 25 to 30,000. So I haven't, so I've just amended that. Otherwise, everything is as per the year before.
Okay.
So, are you happy?
Can I just be
Yeah.
a bit pedantic? On the agenda, we say that the questions open to the public are for 3 minutes. In the standing orders, it says 2.
Yes. Well, I can put it back to 3. 3
Yeah.
is plenty of time.
Yeah. And there's
Hang on, which section is that one?
it's under 3 meetings generally.
7. Okay, 7. I did think about that later. So. No. So general meetings. 15 minutes unless... Shall I
There
not
it is,
do
the 2
3?
minutes.
3.
And there's something very odd on it. It says members of the public may make representation, answer questions and give evidence. Surely it should be ask questions.
No, you can ask questions of the public
Fine.
if you
Okay.
wish to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it could be ask and answer.
Yes.
And vice versa, yeah.
And,
Yes.
and just so councillors know, if you are asked a question at a meeting, the chair can decide that if this might be too complicated an
Yeah.
answer, or some time might be needed to give a proper full answer, the chair can decide that it will be a written answer rather
Yeah.
than at the
Okay.
meeting. Because you know it's kind of, it can be quite difficult to get it all out in one go straight correctly and everything else, and you think, oh well, actually yeah. So it can be that if a member of the public asks a question, the council can ask to give them back a response in writing.
Mary, can I just clarify that if a member of the public wants to ask a councillor a question, that they go through the chair, is that correct?
You can, I can't remember if it's in there, only one person was, if more than one person was the chair, so it has here, a person shall raise their hand when requesting to speak or stand, unless it's not going to be suitable, and the chair may at any time permit a person to be seated when speaking. Some of the standing orders say...
Yes, it shall direct
It's
take
going
communication
to-
to the chair of the meeting.
Yes, and well, some of them actually say, and they are to address you as chair. So,
Yeah.
chair, please may I...
Yeah.
Do you really want to have that added into your standing order?
Thanks, Carol. Cheers. That's fine. I can delegate. I don't mind. I'm quite good at that.
Yes.
Madam
Chair.
Not.
No, just chair.
Yeah, I'd say. Okay, so are we all good with that apart from those
Hang on,
Yeah.
so
slight changes?
are there any more?
No.
Any more?
No.
Okay, so if
Okay,
you're
show of
happy...
hands.
Sorry.
So you've got to sign your life away.
Lovely. Every page,
You
Mary?
need a stamp
No, because it's
Just
a
the
bit
last
longer.
page.
Can you do
The
the
first and last.
alterations? The pages
yeah.
with the alterations on it, the
Yeah.
first and last and a
7.
date, and pick some random page.
Okay. Whilst I'm doing that, whilst I'm signing, do you want to move on to the financial regulations if anyone's got any adjustments they want to make on that?
Yeah, I've got a couple of things. We've got the paper there.
Sorry, Mary, I just thought I may as well just fly through it.
Yes.
2.6. Is it worth that being the chair of finance rather than a random member, or does that make no? Is there
Well,
logic to
as the chair, as
There
the
is
clerk
no
isn't going to be, or necessarily
Mhm.
the RFO is going to be attending your working
Yeah.
party meetings, it means that it isn't going to necessarily flow with the efficiency.
Yeah,
So it's often easier to get this signed at a council meeting just before.
right, okay.
So that's the only reason, from a practical
Yeah.
point of view, where I've been the RFO
Yeah.
and the clerk most of the time, I just find it easier to do at the
Do that.
meeting.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
it's completely up to you. If you, as it's your stand,
No, it's fine.
your-
Go with
you
what
can
you want, go with
choose.
you.
No, that's fine.
So what about my question? A member other than the chair or check signatory to do it? Are you
Yeah.
all check signatories? Are you
No, we've
all...
got several
No, I
several
don't-
different accounts with several different
Yeah.
signatories.
I think I'm a signatory for all of them.
Is there somebody who's not a signatory for, who isn't a signatory for any of them?
Me.
Okay, Bob, it'll be you.
Oh, great. Okay.
It's on you, Bob.
So,
I
so
volunteered again, have I?
would that be okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so it'll be, so a member other than the chair or a check signatory will be stepped. Yep,
Yeah.
great, anything else?
4.3, you suggested keeping that 1 year, which I would agree with.
4.3,
I agree.
oh, forecasting for
Yeah.
3 years
Yeah.
is very difficult.
One
Yeah.
is fine.
Okay,
Um,
1 year.
Yeah. 5.6, I think 30,000 is a better figure than,
Then 20 or 60.
20, yeah.
This is about doing formal tenders. This is when you send it out
Yeah,
in a pack with an envelope for them to return
Yeah.
it, and then they get opened only together.
yeah.
30.
Yeah, I think anything less than that is just making a lot of work for the clerk and the RFO.
Okay.
And then moving on.
Someone's been
It's
very
all
thorough.
right. 6.9, part 4, transfers within bank accounts.
6 point, yep.
We need that to be 25,000.
Oh yes, you probably do, don't you?
Yes.
Otherwise we don't have a loan.
Otherwise life could get very tedious.
So
Yeah,
fund
no, it's gonna be
transfers for
25, otherwise
25.
the,
Yeah.
the loan, etc.
Yes. 25?
Yeah.
You sure that's enough?
Yeah, that's fine.
So what did I hear? If you change 5.5, then this has to be changed to the same. 5.5. Under delegated or any below 500. Oh, okay.
We're changing that to 1,500, aren't we?
No, 1,500 there is the emergency.
Yes.
Can I just pick up on an emergency point, 5.18? This is serious risk to our services. Emergency funds, the clerk can spend the money.
Yes, you have to be trusting, but normally you'll find the clerk always does it with the chairman.
Yes, well, the clerk may be on holiday, and emergencies don't wait until the clerk is not on holiday.
So it has to be the clerk or the chair.
It has to be the chair, and the chair has to liaise with either the RFO or the chair of the finance working group. How about that?
Yeah, we won't have a chair of the working finance group, so yeah, I reckon the RFO or the clerk or the vice.
But as it's an emergency, we need an emergency cover.
Yeah, because if the clerk's not here,
Yes.
that does make perfect sense.
So if I amend it to the clerk or RFO shall report such action to the chair as soon as possible. And so it would be 3 of you,
Yes,
3
yeah.
people.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Clerk, chair, or whatever.
They're just not all allowed to go on holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Just can't all go at the same time. Or together.
Exactly.
Well, don't normally.
Can I just raise it?
Yeah, go on.
If at some point you decide to have the clerk become the clerk and RFO,
We'll have to vote.
We'll have to amend it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Point 9, payment cards.
Oh, yeah, you have one. I didn't know
We
that.
have one.
We do.
Yes.
So
That was my. I have to remember.
I was confused by why it was all cancelled. Yes, we
Because I
have
didn't
one.
know you had one.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
we do have.
So which is the right option?
It's the co-op one that
Co-op
most
one.
things come out of.
Yeah.
The card.
So what kind of card is it?
Debit.
It's a debit card. And the clerk, historically, the clerk authorises a councillor to go out and make a purchase up to a certain, knowing in advance what that purchase is.
Oh, so
Um,
it's just a card without any name on it. It's not like a bank card. Oh no, it's
It's
a
a
co-op
bank
bank.
card,
It's
yeah.
a co-op.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
a co-op bank card, because I use
Yeah.
it for the annual.
Well, normally the banks don't allow you those without
you-
just being one person.
But
It's
it has to be,
normally the
it has to
clerk.
be approved.
I don't know how
Well,
you've
I
got
just-
getting
I
away
just
Has
with
it
went
got
in-
the bit?
I
What
just went
name has
in
it
and
got
put-
on it?
I just
I think
went,
Nikki's the effectively the approved person on
yeah,
it.
yes,
So does it look, because it's...
I just put the PIN number in.
Oh, well, you're not supposed to do that.
No.
I'm just being honest.
I know,
Yeah.
that's
I mean,
fine.
I think
It was
that
all-
if
it
it's
was all-
co-op
it was all
round the
agreed-
corner-
It was all agreed at the extraordinary meeting for me to go and get some.
Well, you
Nikki-
should
Nikki
really be
agreed for you
sending
to do
your...
that, didn't she?
Yeah, you should really be sending your clerk out to do
Do
that.
that.
It's the clerk's card, and it shouldn't be anyone else. And the bank would be quite upset if they heard that you were trotting around the corner with their card, even though you've got approval,
Yeah.
even having in writing. They've not agreed to anyone else but the clerk using it.
Okay, well, that's
So
what
is
we've
it-
learnt something, then we know
Yeah.
now, don't we, going
Yeah,
forward?
so,
Does that need amending with the bank so that it's the clerk and or the RFO? Thinking of the old holiday routines and
yeah, it all depends on all that, because on my cards, I don't have a co-op account.
Right.
It does say my name,
yeah.
and it says clerk to council.
Right. Okay.
So
Effectively, the RFO is just, forgive me if I'm incorrect here, the RFO will deal with our finances effectively, but not with regard to like spending and such like that would be down to you, would it not?
It's the clerk who normally tells,
Yeah.
authorises.
So we need to
yeah,
leave it
so-
as the clerk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so which one is that one then? Is that 9.1 that goes back in?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, look, they've got actually suggested the clerk and RFO. Value of, and has it,
confusing, isn't it? I think just one person
okay.
needs to do that.
Yeah, but not for this, not the same sort. No, the Barclays card is, I mean, I've got a Barclays card, a Unity card, and a co-op card.
Oh, and they're all
And
for
I've got all the
sign.
little taggy things, and
Yeah.
so
So
when,
that's just for.
when Nicola sends it, we have to approve it. That's what
Yeah,
I use
but
the
you
card
can't-
for. But I can't go and spend
You
it.
can't spend.
No, it's an authorisation card,
That's
a reader
fine.
card.
So
Okay,
yeah, we need to put that one back in.
so number 9.1 will go back in, and do you want it as the clerk and the RFO, or do you want it as the clerk? If it's the clerk, if I become the clerk or I'm the local clerk for a while, I will just go to the co-op for you, because I don't live very far away.
I think we keep it as just the clerk, otherwise I think it's going to get
But
too
you have
confusing.
to tell
For now.
how much is the maximum value,
What?
It's
how
never
much
for
on the
very
clerk?
much.
No,
How
it
much
is.
is on the card? How much are you allowed?
I don't know.
No idea. But we spend 350 on a Christmas tree with it, so I'm guessing it's got a 500. in it.
500, I would imagine.
Okay, say 500.
Or we can double check that, can't we?
Yeah, minimum is normally 500, double check. So we'll put it in as 500 and confirm, if it can't confirm at next month's meeting, I'll, and then we can decide if we have to change it.
Perfect.
Okay, next one.
Number 10, we don't have petty cash. That was eradicated a year ago, year and a half ago.
Okay,
Do we need it?
I think we
Well, you've
need
got
it.
cards.
I think we need it.
Well,
you have a card, so you just go tick.
but say for example, we need.
What do you need it for?
We never know.
cash?
True.
What do you need?
Everything now is just cards. isn't it?
Which is rubbish, if you ask me. Quite frankly, bring back cash.
I don't know what cash looks like anymore.
Wow.
So if you have a
No, I make you
councillors-
right. To be fair, if we've got a card, I didn't really think of it like that. I just thought there was something that we needed specifically that we needed to just grab. We could go and grab it, but effectively nowadays you can do 50p on a card, can't you? And people don't get irritated.
There'd be no
And-
problem if we find we do need it in the future.
Yeah, we can always
To add it in, isn't it?
later, can't we, if needs be?
So let's do that.
It used to sit there not being used really. I think that's
Yeah.
why it was got
Yeah.
rid of.
So a debit card, remember, doesn't actually cost the
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can use 50p on it nowadays. No one cares, do they? It's fine.
Okay.
Anything else?
13.6, we're not registered for VAT. We claim it back, but we're not registered.
Okay, so it's the second half.
Mhm.
It's the second half of that statement that applies. I'm crossing out the first half.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. And we don't have any in 13.8.
You don't have any
We've got
charitable
no
trusts.
charitable,
No,
no, we've got
none.
no charitable stuff. And we don't have any stores, which is over the
Okay.
15.
Yes.
And that's it. From me.
Karen, do you have anything? Oh, well,
No, I just want to clarify with the annual parish drinks, it was agreed at the extra, when we had that meeting at the end, that we was going to buy X amount of bottles of wine, and I did get the cheapest one you got, and the whole lot, and I made the sandwiches.
Oh.
So the whole lot come to £154.85p,
Mhm.
which was very reasonable to give everyone a little drink and a sandwich.
You done well making sandwiches, Carol.
Yes.
Mm.
So those cheese straws were delightful.
And the cheese straws, yeah, sorry.
They were made with mathematical precision.
Absolutely. Okay, so
can I just ask for the relevance to the to the financial regulations of your statement about?
Yeah, no, I just want to say that it was already agreed when I used the card, in case anyone was to say afterwards that I'd run off with the card without authorisation.
No, it was
to
on.
spend any money.
I was going to say something.
It was agreed at the, it was agreed by council that I was
Yes.
going to buy those. those things.
Can I just have a show of hands then that we're good to go with this then, yeah? Everyone agrees? Thank you.
Thank you.
I didn't want to quickly sign it and then everyone go,
Finance.
You and Michelle Stan.
oh, yeah, we do. Do you know what we do?
What's next?
A stamp for me, please.
Yeah.
Pink, yeah, absolutely, why not?
Right. Publication scheme. I had a look at that. It's fine.
Good.
Well,
Just
the
one
publication
thing, the
scheme.
email address is wrong at the back.
Oh, is it? I thought you said clerk.
Says email clerk
I'm just
at
going to sign
Northiam
through
Village.
the middle here.
And it is.
Clerk at Northiam Parish Council.gov.uk. And that comes up on a couple of them more.
Okay. Dot. .uk. Okay, lovely. So
Have you
there's
got
the
access
copy
to
there.
that now? Did you all sort it out with me the other day?
Yes, I haven't used everything though.
No, but she helped you get access.
Yes.
Perfect.
Next one, while she's signing. Because there's
The
so many.
complaints procedure.
Oh, no, I haven't got that. Was it on the website? I obviously, can we defer that one? Because I have a question in my mind. Is that all right?
Okay, defer.
Just to point out that it doesn't have the email address at the end when you come to do it. It's to be added.
I feel like I've absolutely destroyed your paperwork,
No, it's fine.
scribbled all over it.
Well, that's the way
Right,
it goes.
freedom of information policy as per 2023, that's the next.
Yes, so does this need a change of email? No, it doesn't.
It does.
Yes, it does.
It does.
I think they probably might all, to be honest.
I think the email was changed after those were.
Yeah, and it was only, it wasn't changed all that long ago, was it, to be
No.
fair?
Otherwise, you're happy?
Yep.
And I've changed the date at the top. Thanks, show of hands.
Thank you.
Great. Ian, I'm relying on you to take notes at this bit.
That's privacy notice next, Jan.
He's writing
He's
lots.
slaving away.
Okay, on to privacy notice next, guys.
Yes,
Same
I've just been to today's day. Are you happy with it?
Yeah.
I read it, I was really happy with it.
Yeah.
It's shorter
Yes.
than mine, I was
Yeah,
quite
it's
pleased.
the email address thing again, but
Mhm.
Email was changed after the election.
Yes.
Okay, show of hands, everyone's happy with that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Are you getting all that? Right, data protection policy.
we just need to add the email to it.
Yeah, no other comments? No?
Show of hands, please. Can
Yeah.
you take that in for me? Oh dear, it's getting very scrappy.
That's fine, don't worry. Right, data protection breach management plan, guys. Any comments? No?
Well,
Okay.
it has Nicola's
Yes.
name at the bottom,
Well,
and
then-
ought it not to be an NPC publication as the others are with our,
Oh, that's a point.
As a what kind of publication?
well, you know, with our
Northiam Parish
letterhead.
Council.
It doesn't follow the same pattern as the rest of them. I would have thought it should have been anonymous, if you like, but anonymous to the council.
Where are you referring to?
So it has Nicola's name at the end of it, apparently.
Where? There's a list of dates.
15.
Where are you looking, Julian?
Sorry, I got the wrong one.
That's all right.
Okay.
No problem.
Okay, any comments? Are we all happy? Show of hands if we are, please. Thank you.
Okay.
You want it, Ian? Ian's on it.
Does that mean
Okay, employment policies and procedures to be reviewed at the next human resources working group.
Yes, because I think that's where you should do those.
Okay.
Because I didn't know where they were.
So to complete annual review of arrangements, including legal agreements with other local authorities, not-for-profit bodies and businesses.
I was was asked about the Northiam Bowls Club's lease, which was actually on the website already, and I've seen from something that Nicola gave me today that Northiam are actually paying the amounts that are stated on here.
Okay, do we want to hear from...
No, that's Northiam
That's-
Bowls Club, so it's a piece of information. And it's in a lease, so you can't really change it
It is what it is.
It is what it is. You'd have to renegotiate it, and I kind of feel you've got a lot on your plate, really.
Did you see the date there, Tony, that you asked about the other day? Tony? You seen the date was 2019, yeah?
Say that again.
The date, 2019, you know, we asked
So
the
is that
other day
actually, it was
about the
finally,
lease
so
when it started, it was 2019.
actually I've had a clarification today from Nikki. She actually kindly looked it up, and she's told me it was agreed at the December meeting in 2023.
No, there you go.
So it is a little confusing but they are certainly paying £80 the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So we might have to. So it's dated because this isn't actually signed. This copy I have.
Well, I got a copy from the office some while back, and that wasn't dated or signed.
No.
Okay.
So I
we'll
thought
have
this
to-
may be going back to 1947.
So it says it was agreed. Apparently, there's a minute in December 2023 that this lease was agreed. So this is obviously a draft.
I
copy
don't
that's
think it
been-
was. I think there was a discussion about it, but there's no vote.
Okay, can we just defer and have a look, if that's possible?
Oh yes.
I mean,
Let's
Well,
just look at,
Yeah,
to
that was the stricter
reconfirm.
yeah, to reconfirm,
Okay.
because I think we need to double check on those dates, don't we, to make sure that the dates are
Yeah.
correct.
Oh yes, I only saw the.
Yeah.
just from-
Does everyone else
absolutely,
agree with that?
Double check,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, if they've been paying the rent regularly,
I know, but regardless,
Yeah.
Pete, for
Yeah.
everyone's state
Oh,
of
yeah.
mind,
Yeah.
everyone
Yeah.
needs to know
Yeah.
exactly where we're at and
Yeah.
we've got the
Yeah.
dates correct.
So there's no confusion.
Yeah, we don't want any confusion.
Yeah.
you know,
Chair, my apologies, just one going back to the complaints procedure.
Oh, that's the one I haven't got. Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, you heard it, Julian.
When you find it, it's got G. Jackson's name in. It
Oh,
should be-
Ah.
It should be the clerk.
Yeah, well spotted, Julie.
Well done, thank you.
Maybe that's what I thought about it, and I
Okay.
haven't got a copy.
So the allotment agreement.
Right, so the allotment agreement, and
Speak to Mike. Okay, maybe, can I just open up to Mike? Would you like to hear from you first about this before we go on and discuss it? You all right? Okay.
are you sure?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Positive?
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
Final answer. Okay, fine. Over to you.
Over to me? Right.
Yeah.
So you will have seen in the receipts and payments they paid £160 very recently. That's what I was going to ask. Which I believe is for the last year or the current year?
I believe that was payment for this current year.
Current year, there we go. Current year. So you also will have seen there's also in the receipts and payments there was a bill for doing some hedge cutting back as well. Somebody asked about what the costs were, so it was in there.
Okay.
So I think that it might be an idea to agree it's not been reviewed for a while. They have paid their lease, their amount already. So you might want to bear that in mind, but you could actually set about agreeing how much you'd like for next year or the year after or for the next 5 years, and you can do whatever you like. You could go.
Discuss that now or do we discuss it later on?
No, you can do it now.
Okay,
Um,
I suggest 10%.
you could do, but bearing in mind they have already paid the
Yeah, I
year,
know.
you might have to, and in your agreement it says you have to give them notice, so you
Yeah.
kind of missed.
It's pre-August from memory.
Yes, so you've missed the current year's one. Pre-August.
Yeah.
Is that the-
August.
Yeah, it's
August.
August. So it'll be for the following year.
Mm.
Yeah.
So you'll be considering really what you would like to charge next year and the year after,
I'd also,
or whether you'd like to do it yearly.
I'd also point out it's not been reviewed 22 years.
Or
Which is
it
quite a
might
long
have been
time.
done in between, but I don't know.
Not that I can find.
well, something must have happened because it's been 22 years ago it was £100.
Yes,
And they're
there
now
was
paying
160.
Yes, because
So-
they have more plots there, that's why.
Oh, there you are. There's a piece of information.
In fact, I believe that the Society was expecting an increase in rent 10 years ago.
Wow.
Why it wasn't reviewed, I don't know.
Can I suggest that potentially we review it yearly?
Yes?
Only to, I'm not saying increase, I'm saying we review, because then we know where we're at, we know what they pay, we know if any more plots have been put in or anything's been removed, or what maintenance has been done, etc.
Yeah, because it's my understanding that they do maintain it. There's
Yes.
lots of things that they maintain. Now, obviously...
Hence the low rent.
Yes, exactly. So if we're looking at increasing it too much, they might say, well, that's okay. You know, it's like, do you rob Pete to pay Paul, however it works.
I think
if
10%
they are doing maintenance, then we have to take that into consideration, I feel.
Yeah, but the maintenance is actually in the contract with them.
I think they do other things above that, though. I don't know specifically. It's just my understanding.
Yeah, they
something
do
we
a
could
lot.
maybe look at going forward, and come together and maybe.
I think there was a suggestion.
They've taken over responsibility for their own water
Correct.
bills, haven't they?
Yeah, they have now.
Yeah, I think there are some things that they do.
I think on an email, they've suggested up to 10% as well, haven't they?
Yeah, they suggested 10% in
Yeah.
an email. They were happy with a 10% increase.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
I think that's reasonable.
If we're negotiating, if it's factoring
then-
everything, then
yeah.
and we're all
I don't
happy,
have
because
to
we don't
agree
want
now.
I'm going to ask whether they had any empty plots.
No, there's one at the moment. Only just been vacated.
I think going to a yearly consideration is a very good idea.
Yeah.
Well, we should with all revenue streams go to annual review.
Yeah.
I think it's a statutory requirement.
Unless it's written in your contract.
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so can I just propose then that we do a yearly review? Obviously we can't,
Yeah.
I mean we don't have to agree it now on the amounts, do we? Because
No.
it's
But
later on.
So,
So is everyone happy to do a yearly review?
So the next
Yes.
review will be
Yes.
next April.
So can we?
So we missed do any
We've missed
Yes.
this one.
So can you also agree that you're noting that you have missed this year, so that
Yes.
they will know for certain
yes,
that
we
they
should
won't
have
be
that
having
down on
it.
paper.
So they'll have that on paper,
Yeah,
and
the
then
minutes.
you'll be reviewing
covered.
it in. So when do you have your meeting? March.
So February.
So if we do it in February,
We have to notify them pre-August of change for next year.
it does say
I
4
don't
weeks
remember the
before
date.
September.
4 weeks.
Okay,
4 weeks before September, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly. So that's earlier. So you would have to ask them to agree an amendment
Yeah.
of the agreement to make it a bit more current. That's another possibility. This is a point you might open. Have you got any other comments to make before you might want to ask them what they think about?
Mike, what's your suggestion on that? Are you happy with an amendment to be made, or
Yeah, I'm quite happy with that.
yeah?
So you'd be happy to agree an amendment to the term saying that you'll be advised prior to your March meeting in February what the rent would be?
For start of payment April.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fine.
That then gives you kind of 2 months before it starts again,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you happy?
Happy.
Perfect.
Thank you.
But can I just
Thank
say
you.
that before the next meeting, I think we ought to know what they do outside of their contract in order to keep the hedges trimmed and various things. And
Yeah.
we need to know
Mm.
how much a contractor would charge, and i.e. how much they've been saving us for the last 20 years.
Yeah, mate, you're right.
Yes.
Would you be able to do that?
We both just like a little meerkat. Okay, no, you're all right. Right, okay, so we've agreed that, yeah? Perfect. Just to note that St Francis Field Stables lease currently under discussion.
I think somebody told me something about SSE on the, having seen the agenda, and I haven't managed to look it up. What correction is? Is it
It's-
this correction here on this
No,
letter?
the SSE Business Electric is for the office.
Oh,
It's not for St Francis Fields.
oh, right, okay, office.
It's not for the
That's the-
bungalows, the stables.
Yep, thank you very much.
It's okay.
Okay. Castle Water, ongoing contract.
Where's that for?
That's for the allotments and for...
No, the allotments is now.
The allotments they're
are
taking
now
over
taken
themselves.
themselves.
Taken
Castle
over
Water
themselves.
is for St Francis Field
Oh.
and for the cemetery.
cemetery. Okay, lovely.
John O'Connor landscape maintenance agreement. We've agreed that obviously, but just to note that it's 11,258. Dog bin emptying contract, automatic renewal, 15 bins at 173 a week a bin.
Yeah.
Just to note.
Just going back to John O'Connor, we should
Yeah.
remind ourselves that we agreed that we have to go out to tender this year,
Absolutely, yes.
because we rolled over last year's.
Yeah,
with a-
that's
with an
it.
Yeah,
upgrade.
we have to
do
do
that.
that. September, we needed to get the
Yes,
ball rolling
yes.
before.
And we need to do it's a free tender, and we need to start early.
Okay, so
Yeah.
one thing I can assure you of is that having just done several quotes which included John O'Connor last for my other councils, he is by far the most reasonable when it
Yeah.
comes to cutting your grass.
Can we look at doing the payment if he's done what he should do? Because quite frankly, I've had complaints about his mess that they're leaving behind.
I've had to speak to him.
Yes, and Tony's spoken as well, because I've recently had complaints about it, and I'm
So,
not happy
so
about it.
that would be something that you'd have to agree at the next.
Yeah.
Because I changed that for Beckley, that they only pay when he's done it. He wasn't very happy, but he has agreed it.
Can
so
we
haven't
look at
paid
adding
any-
that to our next meeting then, and we have that
Right.
discussion?
No, you can't do it yet.
Oh, no, for next time.
Yes.
At some point,
Yeah.
I think we need to do what we did before with Ray. There was some kind of dispute because various residents were saying bits were cut and bits weren't.
Yeah.
They don't cut everything, they don't cut all the verges, and we were asked by Ray to walk round our various areas where we were living and note after they'd been
I went out
which
the other
ones were
night.
cut and which ones weren't.
Yeah, I did a drive, didn't I, the other night to
Yeah.
check, because I'd had a complaint, so I'd done a drive round
Yeah.
to see what mess had been
And it's
left and
like
what
Bicester
hadn't.
Road, they do the right hand side
And
and they do the two little triangles, one on the left.
Yeah.
They don't do the left until you get up a bit further, and then they don't do the right, they do the left, and they do the bit of
Some-
beacons.
And they leave the
Some
grass
people
all
don't
over
want
the
It's
driveways
quite
and
obscure,
paths, and
I
it's
think
rank.
we need to know from them exactly what they're contracted
But
to
if-
do.
Yeah.
If we're going to be going out to tender in September, then we
Yeah.
need to
We
dig
need to
out.
know
We need
exactly
to
which
dig
one
out
we're
and
doing.
update the whole mowing
Yeah.
regime
Yeah.
so that we've actually
But
got.
we need to know what we're paying for, exactly what's in their
Yeah.
contract.
Yeah. And exactly what we need covered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are some
Well,
people
that-
who don't want their grasses cut. I used to get complaints from people, they cut all
Oh,
It's all
Someone else the other day.
But we do need to start in July, because it's going to take that amount of
That's
time
right.
to
July.
to do that, put it together and go out to tender.
Yeah.
so have you seen the highways verge map?
Yes.
And that's what he will be cutting, because he
Yes.
can't cut other people's
Okay.
grass. So your
And it,
contract is
and it's-
based on the
Yeah.
highways verges,
and
and
it's
then
split
anything you
between
own.
urban and rural, isn't it? Even though we're in a village.
But
they
he's
call it
only
urban.
doing. Oh, is he doing urban? No, he isn't. You're paying
Doing
for one of
both, yeah.
those.
Yeah.
So he's probably doing the urban verges
Mm.
and
Yeah.
any land you own.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That's easy.
Okay.
There is a file in the office that's got the full breakdown of
I
what they
would
meant
just
to do,
start at the
but
beginning,
that's
because you can look it up
but
online.
that's
Yeah,
but
it's
that's
better
several
to
years
start
old,
in it.
so it needs looking at.
Yeah, I think we need to look up the new rubber.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
think we
East
need to
Sussex,
start afresh. I think we just
We
need
need
to
to start fresh.
start afresh and move on, because it's, you know.
And it all takes time.
Yeah. Okay, so to appoint representatives to external bodies for 2024-25 and agree arrangements. This is the Rother Association of Local Councils.
Can I carry on with
I
that?
was going to say you were doing that before.
Well,
That's
I-
what's
it's
to you,
just
wasn't
that
it? Is that all right?
Million, there's something else going on that I'd like to keep track of.
No, Jackie. Yeah, all right. So Jackie for that, yeah. And
I do say
PCSO.
two, by the way, just in case somebody can't
Yeah.
make it.
Anyone
So
else?
If anybody else wants to volunteer, that would be
Anybody
brilliant.
else? Anybody else? No, no, no.
Show of hands before we forget.
You
can always vote for
yourself.
I'll stay PCSO.
Sue stays PCSO liaison.
Unless anybody else would like to.
Can we
I'm
have
all
a
right
quick
as it
show of
goes.
hands?
I'm not voting for myself, yes.
No,
okay.
no, for
Sue to be
Sue.
PCSO. Okay, cool. Annual review for the asset register.
Which
Be
was
reviewed
at the
next meeting.
In actual fact, I'd like the finance working party to have a look at that, because
Okay.
it goes with the AGAR, make sure it all tallies up. It should tally, but I didn't take a copy of the AGAR to check.
Okay, can we make a note of that then, the working group to
I
have
think
a
that
look?
needs the telephone box and something else
Well,
added
yeah.
onto there, doesn't it?
I did that. I think I did that last year. So
Did you?
I'll nose and see what I've got. I have a memory of going through it with.
What's this?
2023.
No,
Because at
Yes.
the moment,
That one's
I've only got
2020.
2023 one. Have you
Yeah.
changed it since?
No,
The
that would
AGAR.
that would have been a year ago, thereabouts. I'll
You
check.
said you'll see what you've got. What do you
Yeah.
mean? As in,
I have a memory of doing it within the last year.
So he might have a piece of paper at home.
So then I may have it on.
Oh, fine.
I have one.
I don't have a copy of that. We can have a
Yeah.
copy. And
I have a copy of 20. I have one, so I shall
Yeah,
send it
we'll
to
see.
everyone.
yes,
Thank
please,
you.
that'd be good.
Thank you, Lou.
Right, okay. So note insurance renewal date is the 17th of November 2025. And then to complete annual review of council subscription. So East Sussex Association of Local Council an outcome membership
And you've already paid it,
already done, just to note.
I believe, yes.
Information Commissioner, which is £40.
Yeah, I think that's gone.
Yes, I don't know about
Parish
this.
Online,
Parish Online, you probably haven't got a request for it yet. So Parish Online used to be part of the Rother Association of Local Councils bill, and Parish Online would have saved 40 quid the other day. Because you can use it to provide planning applications at the correct scale. And you can use it to put in your footpaths, allocate your assets. Somebody will spend their life in there, and it won't be the clerk. Because I think there's enough for the clerk to do.
well, it sounds a
we
bit
would-
Julian-fied, to be honest.
Well, you would probably find it very easy to use, the Parish Online. So at the moment, I don't know if you've ever signed on, but at some point you're going to be asked, and they're offering a similar discount, but you'll have to pay them directly, Parish Online.
No, we were signed on to the whole thing about 5 years ago, but then I think it got lost, disappeared.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Because I remember using it with Ray, digging up various maps.
Can we see if we are?
But I think it,
Somehow we were, or...
Had the password, yeah.
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 It might be a bit late as the renewal period is coming up.
Okay.
So.
But yeah, I found it very useful.
Okay, so, Ralph.
So Ralph, this is what I'm estimating they're going to be asking for. It was at one of their recent meetings, or is it about to be at a meeting?
yeah, and they're still doing the mapping.
No, the mapping's out. So normally it's £35, £40, and then the mapping was the slightly £40, £45. So
They didn't have a meeting on it.
right. So it'll be in the next one, and I'm estimating it'll be about 40 quid. Yeah, it won't go up because they don't aim to make a profit. They're just cutting costs. So you're happy that when that comes up, if the bill comes in, it can be paid?
Yes.
Yeah.
Show of hands, please. Thank you.
Institute of Cemetery and Crematorium Management.
Have you ever signed up to this already?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
It's a regular one. We have a cemetery which
Yeah.
we're responsible for, so it's useful to be able to access it.
I did speak to Mary. I was told that you dealt with the cemetery beforehand
You've got a map.
and map, etc. So I
Yeah,
thought
all
she
the
was
records,
she could
yeah.
speak to you about the
Yeah.
records that you hold.
Okay.
And how it
So
works,
can
how
I
it
can I
works.
ask about the original cemetery we've got now? Because obviously I've always looked to help, like, been there for the volunteers. Like when the grass wasn't cut properly, I spoke to John O'Connor. So, and obviously it's not a working group, it's just me trying to, like...
But it will be in the next meeting.
I'm quite happy to, like, help look after
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
Thank you.
So at the moment, can I ask about the church? Is it part of the church, the cemetery?
No,
Cemetery.
no.
And it's all yours?
It's
It's
a
the back of
civic
the park.
cemetery. It originally started in Northiam, it then got handed around to Rye, then Battle, then Rother, and then it came back to us about 16, 18 years ago.
Is it full?
It's full.
Oh,
Well, no, there are
that's
a few.
why.
There are a few plots left, but they are reserved.
Reserved, yeah.
Oh, right, so
So there are
it's
spaces,
effectively
but
full.
we've still got
Oh.
space for cremated remains.
Oh, okay.
But they handed it back because it has a chapel on it, which needed a lot of work.
Yes, they handed it back because there's legislation that allows them to hand it back, and the parish council is at the end of the line.
Yeah,
So it could have been
we're-
the church to the district council, and then the district council to the
Yeah.
parish council. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, fine. So it's
Oh,
yours.
I can run you through that round that at some point. It's a jolly half hour or hour.
Society for Local Council Clerks.
Oh, this is depending
This
on what
is up to
happens
you.
in. So it depends on what happens in the future. So if you ever end up with a new clerk that would need training, and to pass the SILCA, they would need to belong to this to be able to sit the exam. You cannot send a clerk in to sit the exam without them belonging to this. So this is not necessarily for now.
No.
This is really for something for you to think about in the future, because you never know what's going to happen with you, and it could also be that you end up with an RFO that also needs training, and that's all also done through the Clerking Society. So it's not something that you necessarily need now, because all three of the people that, well, you've got one that, I mean, I don't know if Nicola's ever asked for it, but she's already taking these, or taking, I don't know, the exam, so she already belongs, I already belong, and Ian already belongs. But generally, if you have a clerk that is clerking for several, it would be a share, because you only need one membership. And the clerk is charged according, the membership fee is charged according to the precept of each, no, it's not precept, the salary that each council, parish council, pays. So then it would be divided in the ratio of the salaries. So mine is paid, but it's paid by 3 parishes.
It's just something to bear in mind.
Yeah,
for
so I was
later.
just bringing that to your attention.
So, on to the next. To agree the dates for ordinary meetings of the council to be the second Thursday of the month at 7 p.m. in Village Hall. Yeah? Show of hands?
Yeah.
Not including August, or including?
We don't hold one in August, do we?
So
So
not-
not
so-
including August.
Not, except for August.
Yeah, accepting.
August.
Okay. To agree to hold one public session from the next council meeting.
Does Begbie still have 2?
Yes.
And how do you find having the 2?
So really depends on what's on the agenda. And obviously if somebody is quite upset about an item on the agenda, they will have had the time at the beginning to talk about it, and then they have time at the end to comment about it. It can be a bit rough, but it doesn't mean that they ever change their mind. So it just depends on how you feel you can cope with it. I've always, my other parishes, the first parish council I ever started with, they were so behind, they had nothing. So I got to set the agenda totally myself, read a book, did some studying, and followed the instructions. And that was, because it was in 2011, it didn't have any of the older practices. So things like having 2 public sessions, I hadn't heard of until recently. Also, things like having parish councillors' reports was something I never did, because it's part of the agenda items. Councillors are given responsibilities. If there is an agenda item there, that councillor will be presenting it, and then there will be agreement written on the agenda about something. So you can't just turn up at the meeting and say, I want to agree this. You have to have told the clerk beforehand, I'm going to present on this, that's got to be on there. And you can either do it verbally, or you provide a written report, which I would attach to the agenda. Please remember to send your written reports in as soon as possible. I know it's a bit chaotic and sometimes it doesn't always work. So really it depends on, and I don't think parishioners actually get an awful lot out of the second public session, except if they can provide you with some sort of historical bit of information. But that could also be done by, well, if they knew it. It sometimes means something comes up in conversation. They can also always come and speak to any of the councillors and the clerk after the meeting to hand that over.
2 things. Carol, it was your suggestion to remove it, right? Can I ask why you felt
No,
that...
I did. No, well, it was. I think it was a few people that felt that way.
Yeah, but what...
I think it was your suggestion
So-
to add it. And
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it was
Yeah.
hers initial. That's the reason
Yeah.
I'm asking. Do you feel...
The reason that I did that is because I had been to Beckley Parish Council back in 2017 when I used to come to the council meetings here as a resident, and they did that one. And my hope was that it would be for general public participation. Unfortunately, I don't feel that actually has been the case.
Okay.
I don't think it turned out as I would have hoped.
Can I tell you one
yeah, go
other
on.
legal thing that might surprise you? Parish council doesn't actually have to have a public session
No.
at all.
No.
You may not know that. And it is done on the basis that it is good practice.
That's what I was hoping.
And it's a great way for the community
Yeah.
to be involved,
Yeah.
pass on information
Yeah.
and make comment.
That's what I felt.
It was a good suggestion. I think when we made the
Yeah.
suggestion in the beginning, it was
Yeah.
just a trial, it wasn't it?
Yeah,
We never actually said it was going to be
in
forever
hope,
and a
yeah, that
day.
it would be quite positive,
Yeah.
for everybody. For everybody, that was, yeah.
Look, personally, I'm either way. I'd quite be interested where it's public. Can I ask you a catch-up question?
Oh, yes, you can ask.
Can I just
it.
ask one question, guys? Just a yes or a no, okay? I don't want to go into a conversation with everyone. Just want a yes or a no.
Who are you asking?
The public. Do you think the second session is a good thing or not?
Yes.
Hands up if you think it is.
This is just a show
Okay.
of intentions. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
5, 6, 7. Is that right?
Okay.
3, 4,
And
5,
there's another
6,
chap
7.
over there.
Yeah, 7. How many are we? We've counted
17.
17.
Okay.
So we're just going to close. Any more? Do you want to ask any more questions?
No, I
before
don't.
it's closing. Reconvening then.
Right, thank you. I just wanted to know.
Do you take a vote on that? Do you?
Yeah, I
Or do
think
you-
so. So who votes for it
No,
to
so who proposes? Because this is obviously
I
decided.
propose
So
that it be omitted.
that it's omitted. Is there a
Yes.
second then?
I would second it was omitted.
Oh, so hang on.
Sue seconding Julian's proposal.
Julian. So this is no second. No second public session.
Correct.
Are there any other suggestions?
No.
Oh,
Do we
So
vote
take a vote, please. Yeah.
Okay.
Do we omit?
who supports?
Omit.
Who supports?
Do you want the second one?
3,
I'm for the second
4.
one.
No, we're just to remove it.
Fine.
1, 2,
So-
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. To admit.
So I want to go both ways. Can I not? Can I just not vote because I don't?
Abstain.
Yeah,
Abstain,
just
George,
I'm
yeah.
abstaining. I'm
Makes you
abstaining
feel-
to that. Makes me
more
feel better.
comfortable, Yeah.
Abstain. Okay.
That isn't a choice to just
can
not
I,
vote. It's just that I can't vote.
So, may I just ask what your vote would have been? Because you haven't said how many people don't support.
I'm for it to carry on.
I'm quite happy with carrying on.
So
That
you-
was quite a large minority.
Okay. Can I ask if you want the way you voted recorded?
Yes,
Yes, please.
Yes.
I do.
That's why I asked.
I would.
Yeah.
I quite like the idea of voting being recorded. I know it's tedious. but-
Oh no, individually recorded, so that it would always be recorded as unanimous.
Yes, no, I
or
would like
vote
individual
for
as if it's not unanimous.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Commence with the ordinary meeting of the council. We've done this. So, chairman's announcements. Yes. I would like to make a note, please, because I have spoken to a lovely lady recently with regards to the speed awareness in the village, and I wanted it noted in the parish mag, but unfortunately we didn't have enough space or time for that. So I just want to make a small note here before I put in an application for the next parish mag to give thanks to the speed awareness in the village, because they do give a lot of time and a lot of effort for that.
Madam Chair,
Yes, dear.
I get a report from the PCSOs telling exactly speed watch what's happening in the whole of Sussex and in this area. Would you like me to forward it on to you?
Yeah, forward it on if you could, that'd be good.
Okay.
I just want to make everyone aware that we are grateful for that. So if that can be noted as well, please.
Sorry, can you tell me that again? My head went blank.
So we have a group of volunteers in the village that do speed awareness, and I spoke with a lady recently. She's very lovely, and wanted us to mention it at the AGM, but we didn't get the information to be able to mention it in the AGM, unfortunately.
So you can put it in the magazine.
Chair, I think it's called Community Speed Watch.
Thank you. Not
It
speed
is.
awareness.
Speed awareness
Thank
is what
you.
happens if you get caught.
Yeah, clearly I've been caught, right? So, £200 fine, it's disgusting. Nearly gone though, the point, so we're all good. Right, so to adjourn the meeting to enable members of the public and councillors to address the meeting. Oh my goodness gracious me, there's hands everywhere. I'm going to go that way first because I saw David's hand first.
Can I, sorry to interrupt. Please, as I'm new, could you just tell me who you are? I will not be putting your name in the minutes because I don't believe in doing that. It will always be precedent because of GDPR. So, but if I get asked to, could you respond? I won't have a clue who it is. So
Okay.
if that's all right.
So,
If you want to tell me afterwards, because it's being recorded, just come and tap me on the shoulder and say, I'm the person with blah, 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 and I'll put your name down. Because, of course, you may not want to actually say your name. So either way. Is that right?
Of course.
Right.
Very quick one. Name's David Cooper.
Uh-huh.
Can we have an introduction to your minders?
You can, of course. I'm so sorry. Do you know what? I should have done that. I'm really sorry, everyone. So this is Mary. She is our being a locum clerk for us this evening, and this is her husband Ian, who is also helping out with Mary. So it's kind of a job share because Mary has an amazing font of knowledge and Ian has loads of time. So not that he's not knowledgeable because he is, but my point being is that Mary's
So we are both
lots of other
parish
councils.
clerks. We're actually both parish clerks, yeah, so.
Yes.
For his sins, he gave up a very high-flying job.
To be a parish clerk.
Yeah, so sorry everyone, that was remiss of me, I should have done that at the beginning, apologies. And do you want that? Can you just cut for a moment please, Ben? I'm ever so sorry.
Are you staying for a while?
Well, excuse me. I'm not sure at the moment. Okay. So at the moment, how we see it, and I mean, I'm hoping that everyone else agrees, is that we just wanted to get this evening's meeting out of the way and done because we haven't had one for a while. We have had applications for clerk, so that is a process that we will be going through next. We just wanted to get a meeting done first, and then councillors will all be having discussions about the applications that we've been through and going through the process. But currently, we have these wonderful guys here.
And thank you for coming.
Yes, thank you very much. I think you can go back now, Ben.
Well, can I ask a question?
Sorry, 2 seconds. Sorry.
Okay, Brian Banks. We have a Nature Recovery Programme group, which Tony and Bob sit on, discussing the Nature Recovery Programme for the parish. That has only had one meeting. Bob's been away for 6 weeks, and then ours away for 2 weeks.
Tony's been away.
We really need to have that next meeting coming up, so that needs to be sorted. One thing I would quite like us to discuss at it is actually the issue you've raised earlier on today, which is mowing of verges, which is quite a contentious. It's causing 1 or 2 bits of nature conservation damage in places. So if we're going to be looking at that whole issue, I would like some biodiversity stuff fed into that, please.
All right. Thank
Perhaps
you.
when you get together for your conversation about verges, you could also liaise with the Conservation Society because they've been doing some test areas of wildflowers to be able to perhaps suggest for the verges or some of the verges. So perhaps they've got a few.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And could I thank you, Brian, for your walk around Beaconsfield on Sunday? It was very interesting. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sorry, hello.
Can I forward a bit of information? So Rother District Council has a nature recovery strategy that it's evolving at the moment.
Biodiversity, yeah.
No, nature recovery strategy, and they have a meeting. I'll look for an email and send one to you because they're asking people to attend. Is that what you were going to attend as well?
I wasn't. There's an online meeting.
Online meeting, yes.
Yeah.
Is that? Oh, so you are. So somebody is attending then. Oh, good.
Well, I'm attending one which has been organised by East Sussex County Council.
That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're attending that. So Excellent. So I won't be sending it round.
Biodiversity officer at Rother District, Lucy Bolton, is
Has left.
leaving.
Oh, is she?
She leaves the end of this month, so I'll try and find out from her who's taken over, but she's leaving.
Yes, who's next? Okay.
So,
We'll be good with that.
she's very good.
There is going to be a policy, or rather there is a policy in the draft local plan on nature recovery areas, local nature recovery areas.
Is that what you're referring to?
Well, no, that one, and because of that one.
Ah, got you. Okay, cool.
Is that what we're calling your biodiversity thing now then, Tony?
I was going to say, I
Nature
think
recovery.
that will also have to go back to next meeting as well, because that comes under the same remit as the cemetery and everything else that we have, and the football pavilions. We'll have to add that to discussion for next one as well. Okay, apologies. Hello.
Hello, Chairman
Sorry.
and Councillors. This is just to let you know that my name is Tim Sampson. This is my wife, Ros. We are the owners of the Pond House, which will be discussed in 22.4. We're here to answer any questions that you have, and we have additional information should you wish.
Thank you very much. Okay, now, sorry, John.
No, don't worry. There was an extraordinary meeting or a special committee meeting in March. I was wondering when the minutes might be published for that.
Okay, I had a chat with Mary about this when she first got here, actually.
I'll
So
have to chase.
yeah, we're going to have to chase those. Obviously, with the crossover of Nikki moving from clerk to RFO, I think that that's where we've got crossed over. So that's something that we're going to chase next.
Okay, because it has relevance to some of the things on the agenda going forward.
Yeah, you're going to chase those, aren't you? You said earlier.
Sorry.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ben?
Hiya. With the payment schedules, 20.1 and 20.2 on the agenda, they show RDC are now charging business rates up at St Francis Fields. Is that for any and all business activity? Is it just for the stables? Is it for the CIC? Or what's it for?
I believe over to the...
It's the stables and the sand schools.
There we go.
Okay. Fine. But they are empty, aren't they?
Yes.
They are, yes.
You get the first 3 months free, and then you start paying.
Okay.
You good?
Just about the football pavilion as well, obviously that's on the agenda again. Submission to planning under 19.4. Just want to remind councillors that the auditor has been in touch with you and made the comments that they've made, so maybe think why they've made those comments and asked to see the information that they've seen. They've asked to see the information that they've asked to see.
Yeah, I get that. Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else that has any questions? No? Okay. So, that's the discussion. So, over to receive a report from County Councillor.
Good evening. Pleasure to be
We're
here.
still awake.
I did not start the work actually. Sorry about that. You've got my written reports, hopefully from April and May meetings. I'm looking at Mary as to whether she...
Oh yes, I have got them from the other. Oh no, I only did. I did a lot, but I didn't manage to do that.
To circulate them?
No,
Okay.
yes.
Don't worry. Right. So I will just summarise some headlines from that. From April, I highlighted that Queensway Gateway is finally going to be sorted out. That's the connection from Queensway to the A21.
Oh, that's good.
And you know, to anyone who drives down there and gets stuck in traffic jams, that
It's
should
a
alleviate
pest.
it. And that's been done by, it was a contract with Sea Change to do it. That's been done by getting some of the levelling up funds that are now the county council has taken over getting that done.
Okay.
And I'm hoping it'll get done pretty quickly.
Roundabout or lights?
It's lights, I believe. The roundabout was the original plan, but I think that was ruled out because they couldn't get ownership of the garage.
Couldn't either, is there? Was there?
So, but whatever it's going to be,
Something's better than nothing,
I
yeah.
regularly get stuck there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I also wanted to point out for the May report, I talk about potholes and so on. Let me just every month. Two points to that. One is I think Balfour BT had 26 gangs working on potholes, but of those only about 10 of those are
Had
their
any
own.
training?
10 of those are their own. The rest were subcontractors. It's all right, but some of the subcontractors for that were not doing a good job. The same applies to some other work like resurfacing and bigger works. And again, some of their subcontractors were not doing a good job. Now it's their responsibility, but we've been raising at a senior level with them.
Yeah,
So, for example, you may be aware there's been a string of a bit of a saga at the east end of Main Street in Beckley, and that's been a pain. But now the weather's getting better. Now it's sorted out some of the contractors. It does look like it's getting improved. So, and I'm hoping to see more improvement than that. Someone told me on the way in that one of the potholes has been fixed, but there's a number of big fixes across the counties. The other thing I was going to point out was in my May report, I'm actually on a committee at county looking at looked after children. So these are children where they're in county homes or whatever, and then they're leaving care and looking to find work. And we are hoping to find local businesses and so on who might be able to give them work experience or even jobs. And I'm asking every single parish council, so all the 7 I go to see if anyone knows of any businesses or things like that.
Okay.
Because they can make a dramatic difference to these young minds.
Yeah, they need some
Are they
stability.
18? Are they 18?
They're 18 or coming up to 18.
Yeah.
And I think the last thing I was going to mention was I got today notice that there's emergency works in Newhurst.
It's a
road.
water main.
It's a water main.
Yes,
It's going to be there for 6 days. Normally I send them round immediately to the class.
I have to go around miles.
It was the 5th of June on one day.
No, it's not the same man. I went up to him, I said, it's today the 5th of June. He
It
said,
says
no.
23rd to 28th. Quite often they get it done sooner. And it's emergency water engineering works. That's
Thank
it. Happy to take any questions.
Thank you. I don't have any. Does anyone? All good, thank you. So, over to receive a report from you, young man.
Thank you, Madam.
District Councillor.
Apologies, there's nothing at the front for apologies, so Tony Gownley apologises. We had a planning meeting online tonight at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
It went on to 7, so I stayed there till 6 and I left. Did it get circulated, Mary? Have a thought at all, do you know?
No.
No, okay. Well, I won't bore you because you're more likely to fall asleep. It's a long-term plan for towns, funding for Bexhill. Anybody wants to read it, you're more than welcome.
I'll send these round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Later. There was one obviously interesting fact that Tony put on because he's done the report, that CAFL was ordered to pay £10,000 after an environmental health found rat infestation. I'm not going to mention the CAF, but just to say it's on the A21. PCSO reports, if you haven't had it, Bodiam, they got problems with youths causing antisocial behaviour. The police are there, they took the youths home and dealt with them. Ewhurst, there was a serious accident and they ain't got airlifted. He actually, I don't know if he died or not, but I don't know if people know the road between Horns Cross and Staple Cross. We've got the works there, that then there. Serious accident, motorcyclist and a lorry. If the guy hadn't stopped, phoned for an ambulance, the guy would have died. But luckily he was airlifted to Brighton and he's still alive. We have a new PSO for Northiam and Beckley. The girl's name is, if I can find it, Sweeney. Shannon Sweeney. She will liaise with Becky Unicom. And Northiam in April, we did have quite a bit. On the 8th of April, we had a Range Rover stolen from Main Street.
Really?
Yeah. On the 10th of April, a suspicious van was seen around Church Lane and empty property twice within 10 days. On the 13th, a caravan was stolen from Rother Valley car park. It was finally found being towed along the M25 and one person was arrested. On the 18th, a report of a male exposing himself in a car parked along in Main Street around 7 AM. On the 9th, the male was seen previously the same month doing the same thing. So if anybody does see this
In a car.
can they please report it? It's been investigated, but it does need, if there's children, that sort of time, it needs to be.
Do we know what the car was?
Yeah, I was going to say what's in the car.
I'll try and find out, Joe.
Oh,
All right.
please.
Yeah. On the 27th, a vehicle in Station Road was keyed overnight. And in Beckley, there was a break-in on the 7th in a farm in Wetbread Lane, although nothing was stolen. So there was quite a bit going on.
Yeah, there's been a lot, isn't there?
When the caravan was stolen, wasn't it driven by a young boy in a car? Wasn't it on the news?
Oh, I am not sure.
Yeah, there was.
Well, there was one on the news. Is that the caravan though?
I don't know. She hasn't said.
It was,
He was
it was
caught on
12 or something.
25.
Yes, dragging
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So obviously there was quite a bit going on in Northam. So, yeah.
Tony, what was the surname of the DPSA?
Todd.
It is Shannon Sweeney.
Oh, Sweeney.
Sweeney.
Oh, I love it, Michelle.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
fun.
Well,
That's fun.
there you go.
I think
What
she
I'll
gave
do
a
is I will copy your liaison with PCSO.
Thanks.
I still got the names of the Beckley, Bodiam and Dewars PCO liaison councillors.
Yes, probably on my computer.
Okay. Yeah.
But I think Shannon come to the last,
Shannon came to
the last coffee
morning,
morning.
the last
Yeah.
one.
Last one, yeah.
Um,
I met her there.
I met her there, so
Yeah.
she will be. She's come from Eastbourne. She said it seems quite quiet, and then we got that lot. So initiation. But yeah, if anybody wants to see us afterwards for any questions regarding the report,
Thank
feel
you.
free to come have a look.
Okay. Over to planning applications. So, Sandgate House, Main Street, demolition of single-storey rear extension, internal alterations, creation of a glazed link between main house and utility, alterations to fenestration and landscaping to a Grade 2 listed property.
When I looked at it online, an email had been sent to them about the sorts of things that they had to address before they...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an incomplete application.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
so,
There was no objection.
there's no objection
No
to
objections,
it,
no.
really. No objection to it,
No.
really.
Neighbours.
No.
It's just up to him to make sure he fulfills
Puts it-
all the requirements.
yes, exactly. Yeah.
Does it make a difference that the heritage statement said there was no issues with that development or having the extension, and also I think
No problem with
the
news.
Newt officer, well, it was on the thing about, also said there's no issue,
No,
so
lovely.
those things there's no.
That's, yeah, two quite important things, aren't they?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
why I have to read that.
Thank you. Okay, so we just do have to have a vote on whether we support. Thank you.
Yeah.
Support.
I agree, no
Support.
problem.
Thank you. Good. Okay. The next one is the same, but demolition of their existing garden boundary, retaining wall and construction of new retaining garden wall and steps.
Well, one is listed and one is
One is-
planning.
So
Gen-
the planning.
Same thing.
It is the same thing. They
yes.
just have to apply twice.
Fine.
Yeah.
So it's just the same.
Yeah. So you
Do you don't want another support? Do you want another vote on that? Or
Please,
not?
just raise
right,
your
another
hands 'cause
vote
it's-
so that you support.
Support.
Support. Yeah, there we go. Next, number 20, Cricketers Field, single-storey rear extension.
I couldn't see
Didn't see any
It's
objections.
basically
Yeah, I
the
did
size
see
of the
that.
patio that was at the back. It's
Okay.
very
Yeah.
large. And
Yeah.
Does everyone support?
It's a new one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing on it.
Does everyone support? Vote
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
I support it.
if the neighbours don't like it, they can make a comment.
So far.
I'm going to read this one out. To agree to proceed with the submission of a planning application for a new sports pavilion.
Chair, can I ask a question?
Please do.
As far as I can see, we've not actually agreed as a council to go ahead with this.
We've agreed to apply for a new pavilion. We did it in September of last year, a
Did
full
we?
committee.
Sorry, I
Yes.
don't remember. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I wasn't here at that meeting, I don't think, was I?
No.
oh, okay. So,
Yeah, no, I wasn't here.
Oh, I was.
So I've got a copy of that, yeah.
You've got a copy of that.
I'm sure I
Okay.
have, yes.
So this money is section, you're considering this because you've had a large building site at which section 106 money, specifically, rather than SIL money, I take it,
Yeah.
has been agreed. So if anyone in the audience understands this, there's a difference between SIL money and section 106 money. So the SIL money goes into the SIL pot. That sounds stupid, doesn't it? But it's not really, because some of that SIL money comes to the parish council, a percentage of it. At some point, rather finally hand it over once they've got enough in their pot. Now, the section 106 is a legal contract between the developer and the planning authority, and it has lots of things on it. So in that it has things like how many affordable houses there are in it, anything they might specifically have to provide, such as pavements, they might have to put in traffic lights, all sorts of things. And also there is another infrastructure payment. And so basically that money will be, the solicitor at Rother District Council will have pored over every single word in that contract to make sure that it gets used, the money is used specifically for that. And it is not allowed to be used for anything else in section 106 money. You would have to go to some phenomenal effort to get...
That's already been confirmed.
Yes, you'd have to go to some phenomenal extent to get that changed, and it would be after many years of not being able to comply with the agreement. There is also possibly, I haven't read it, there is also possibly that if the money doesn't get used, it goes back to the contractor, to the developer.
It's not possible, it is.
It is possible, right.
We have
so
9 years.
Yeah, so you have 9 years. So this money, if it doesn't get spent on you, may actually go back to the developer, and or depending on that survey they had on SIL money recently, they were proposing to use it for something else, but that would probably be on contract 106's going forward. I don't know what the result of that SIL survey that went round to parishes. We're not sure yet.
It's a 2016 S106.
Right. So
it says it goes back in 9 years' time to Persimmon.
So 9 years. How many you got left then?
9 years.
9 years from now.
Yeah, I believe so.
No, I haven't. So I don't know any of the information that the auditors have
I was
put
going to say,
forward.
I think we do need to talk about that very quickly, because obviously it's something that Ben's mentioned, and it's something that everyone is going to want to be discussing. So the auditors have basically, because it was not on our budget, because it is not money that we hold, and it is not money effectively that whilst we will be spending it, it is not our money that we are spending. So it was never put into our budget. So that has raised a red flag with the auditors, because obviously they weren't aware of it, and they want to know how we budgeted for it. We should have budgeted for the fact that the money could potentially be coming in to then be spent. So they are now looking around that and questioning that, which is something that they've not been given that information as yet, I don't think, because obviously Nikki was meant to have dealt with it and then has moved across.
So it depends on... So planning authorities don't run section 106 is the same. They can run them slightly differently. So the only thing I thought was that in some places anybody can apply for that money as long as it's going to be used for exactly what it says. But of course, you would always have to have, just like a planning application, you can put in a planning application on land that doesn't belong to you. But in the end, you would have to have the landowner's permission to build it. So it's the same for, in this instance, because I believe the land that the pavilion stands on is your land. And anything that stands on the land belongs to the landowner.
And it is specified for specific uses.
Yes, so it's new to me that the auditor would be questioning this, but I do see that in the rules it says you should be looking at all of your finances, but it is confusing for parish councils to have to consider, you know, it's only, how many years is it, when did it finalise the...
16. Sorry, December 2015.
9 years.
Yeah, so effectively, if you don't spend it on the village, you're going to lose it. And also, at the moment, I quite agree with Julian's report that he sent round. It is very difficult at the moment to get any money for pavilions, sports pavilions, refurbishments. Rother District Council has a policy, they'll give you money as long as it's to do with net zero. So,
That's all just lost their one, there was 400,000.
yeah, so,
And they lost that. The only one that's been granted is Sidley, 2.1 million, and that's come from a levelling up fund of the 19 million that Robert got. 17 million's being spent on the Delaware, and Sidley's got 2.1 million.
so that's it gone. So the Levelling Up Fund, which was another fund that wasn't necessary, you didn't mention, has now been taken effectively, correct?
Because it's gone.
Yes,
There
because
are
it's gone.
grants, like when it comes through, I've been sending possible grant areas where funding can be attained. Hopefully,
Until we've got planning consent,
you
it's
can't.
no good going out and starting to fundraise.
Yeah.
Because you can't fundraise if you haven't got anything. And the other thing is, most of the funding you need to get these days is match funding.
Yes, even your SIL is match funded.
And we won't be building without any money.
No, exactly. If we don't raise the money,
We can't do
we
it.
don't do it.
No.
We'll have to lose it.
Yes.
So this
Simple as
money,
that.
the cost of the planning application is?
It's the actual planning fee to Robert is £231 plus VAT. That includes the 50% discount for the parish council. We have already paid out a sum of money to the traffic consultant, which the report will need to go with the planning application, and that may well need to be revised because it was written around Lauren's use of the stables, so that will need to be revised.
Can we just...
Are we talking about the sports pavilion or the stables?
Sorry, I'm confused.
Oh, you don't mean that word.
There is no traffic.
No.
So this money at the moment, because the parish council will be footing this bill themselves.
They will be footing the planning application, yes.
Okay, so can I just confirm for everybody here that this is literally just a planning application
Correct.
with view of what we can actually do with the sports pavilion?
Yes.
It isn't us saying we're putting in this planning application because this is what we're going to build. It's an application to ascertain what we can get on that piece of land.
Yes. Correct.
Yes.
Thank you.
So you're who are you using for that then? A planning advisor?
We've done it ourselves.
Oh, you've done it.
We've spent the money, we've got the drawings for the scheme. We've got the maps to accompany it. We've gone to the archaeological people and they've squared it off. The Newt lady has squared it off.
Okay, so it is actually to submit a proper submission.
Yes, a proper submission.
It's a full application.
Okay,
Full
and
plans
you need that to
application.
prove that you have.
We can get it.
Yes. Okay, for funding.
Yeah.
Yeah, because without the funding,
Well,
nothing can be
then-
built.
Yeah.
Simple. And we can't drag it from anywhere else. It has to be.
The remaining sum that Rother are holding out of the S106 money is about £170,000. And it's specifically for the recreation ground improvement, which is for the upkeep, the improvement of the pitch and for the improvement of the changing facility.
Can I just say though, if we can't be negative,
No, go on.
if
We'll have a devil's advocate.
okay, we're only trying to charge 31 quid, whatever it is, so we're not talking, it's not a lot. But if we can't get, we in your bid here, there's already a couple of associations that aren't prepared,
Correct.
unlikely,
Yeah.
which are the football ones,
Yeah.
so they're the ones we directly want to go for,
Yeah.
because it's a football pavilion to start
Sports
off with.
pavilion.
Sports
Sports
Well, okay,
pavilion.
but it's the football club that's going to be.
Well,
the
Now,
biggest-
they're going to be the
It's not
principal users of a new sports
They'll be the
pavilion.
principal use.
That's
Yeah.
how we got to split.
Yeah, no, that's fine, but I've read somewhere that it's, the percentage, the high percentage is for the football
Yeah, they are the
club
principal
usage
users.
of, the bigger uses of, yeah, okay. But what I'm saying though is if we can't, that money, then we'll go back.
That's
to
what we've just
developers.
said.
Yeah, yeah, but you also said that you're saying recreation, recreation ground, if we can't get the money for the pavilion, can't do that, what can we spend that £160,000 on with regard to the actual recreation?
maintained playing field over the next 10 years.
With nobody playing
Okay,
on
but
it.
can we not use that also for the playground?
No.
We can't use that at all?
No.
They'll
They've
have their own.
specified.
Okay,
Rother sent a reply back which was circulated about 6 or 7 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's what we put up on the
Categorically saying it.
It's on the window of the parish council.
Yeah, it's on the
office.
notice. It's on the notice board.
Yeah.
So that's what we're saying, Tony. So if we can't, if we cannot get funding, we cannot get match funding, etc., and there is money that's brought in from outside as opposed to any of our pots, apart from this, then that money will have to go back. We can't build it. That's basically what we're saying.
We'll just use it. If we can't build it, we will just maintain the field.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so we can use the money,
But
we're
only
not
to
taking
maintain the football field,
yeah.
effectively. For want of a better
Could we
terminology.
use it to improve what is existing building, if we had to?
I don't think Rother will actually agree to spend that money on repairing that building. The state that it's in.
And just for, obviously for the public's knowledge as well, that is a decision that that Rother would have to make on what it is spent on if we decide not
Have
to.
we asked them that question though? Would they actually put that money into the existing derelict, whatever,
No,
pavilion
they
that's
new
there?
changing facilities because the existing ones aren't acceptable because that's in their playing field strategy that they've produced. They produced 3 of them now, I believe, including a one 2024 this year to support the local plan.
We did have a meeting with them, didn't we? And it was originally thought that we could redo. They were talking about putting units and things on there and reuse what they've actually got. And there was no talk at that time of having a new pavilion. I just wondered whether they would.
We came away from that meeting and we agreed in September that we would go for new changing facilities.
Because he bought the plans, didn't he? He had the plans there.
Well, no, that was
But not for that one.
was last year.
Yeah.
Before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, can we have a vote then, please, to agree to proceed with the submission of the planning application for the new sports pavilion? Show of hands, please.
I can't say no to it.
I don't know.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
On the basis, obviously, that it is, as we've discussed, it's just to find out what we can do, yeah.
That's just a planning application.
Yeah,
You
that's
don't
what
have
I'm
to do
saying.
anything with it.
No.
There's a long step from getting a planning application to digging a hole in the ground.
Oh, yeah, I know. Okay, so to note payments and receipts, March 2024.
It should be more than that, but I just felt that it needed a little bit of
Oh, yeah, because we've got to note April and May payment schedules next.
yeah. So you are literally. So which one is this one? So this is literally. Oh gosh. I've got now to.
Close the door now.
So this is literally in and out, a record of in and out, and here are all the invoices.
Okay.
So this is not a signing of the reconciliation because there's no reconciliation attached to it.
Yep.
So, but we are somewhat behind.
But of course.
And of course this is under the. So Nikki's done a great job actually filling in information to have produced a better budget sheet, which I can't remember if she sent it to you in that budget.
Yes,
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 she
yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Much
she's,
improved,
it's
I
much
have to say.
improved, isn't it? And so effectively, so this is a newer, improved version. She's printed it off and I add a bit to it. So if you notice that any of the categories aren't right, let us know because they'll need recorrecting. So I'm sure in that very extensive accounting system it should be able to produce a reconciliation to go against these, but it's a case of finding it.
Yeah.
We did have a quick look and I was going, no, that's not it. So apart from you'll be getting all the receipts and payments now that Nikki's done, because it must have taken ages to do 2 years worth, really. Apart from getting that, you should then have a bank reconciliation as well. So I'm only asking you to sign, or your chairman, and I've been through it, and as you can see, I've been through it.
Yeah, you have.
So if you don't, if you're happy with what you've seen, the chairman can validate that I've had a good old thorough look through it. And this is, as you know, this is already paid. So
Yeah,
yes,
this not. I can't really do it.
yeah, so it's
No.
just to sign off to say you've actually can validate the invoices and receipts are there.
I was pleased to see we got 10,000 quid in
What does
CIO
PS
money.
stand for? Is that you?
Sorry?
Is that
PS,
you?
I don't know.
PS written on them.
That means PS, I love you.
Or is it, I didn't know.
I haven't written on
They've
it.
all got PS written on them.
No, I think it's something to do with inputting, because I did wonder
Yes.
about that.
Is it?
I think it's probably to do with inputting, that she
like,
inputted it.
Peter, what are you doing?
There's a lot of PSs, and I mean, they can't all be there.
Yeah,
so.
isn't it just PS?
So I think they must be input comments, so that she
Okay.
knows she'd done it.
Alright, so basically I've just got to sign to say this has
Yeah.
been paid.
Yeah, so it's just saying you've seen the receipts and the payment, really. They're in there.
I think we had to approve them because there were some that were pending.
Yes, I mean,
There was-
in your financial regulations, you have to pay them to make sure you don't get a
Yeah.
charge, so.
There were two. There was a Rother one and something else that I had to approve.
And also the new financial regulations actually are a bit more specific about what you put in your agenda for your payments. So you have to present a proper end of, a whole month one now. It's now a requirement to put in the whole month. Before I used to do it in bits, you could, here were your payments at the meeting, and at the next meeting you would advise what you paid in addition. Now it says, at the next meeting you have to present a whole one, so it's easier for everyone to follow, which is fair enough. So there's that one, and then for the April ones, it's to note, it's just the payments again. You can have a look if you like. Once again, you can see I've been through. I've been through. It's a great way of learning what's happening in a council, is looking at the payments, which is how I knew.
Follow the money.
Which is how I knew you had a payment card. I went, oh, they've got a payment card.
I've got such big writing.
Yes, so you see, you wouldn't.
Do you just need
Wouldn't
one
have
of
paid
us
for
to
that.
sign it, or two?
No, two, please.
So I'll pass
Just
them
the
on to
front
you.
bit.
Oh, just the front bit.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
to each page. There you go.
Yeah, so if we'd been on that thing, that wouldn't have had to have been paid
Yes, yeah, but
It's
yeah,
got
and
money
you've
in
got
it.
lots of them. It's worth having.
for. Yeah.
And they're normally £700. The online mapping services.
It's mad, isn't it?
We did page 2 as well before you stopped us.
Oh,
That's all
sorry.
right, thank you.
I'll put my squiggle on it. I'm not just having to sign stuff. Ours, yes, hers are in there. Mine is missing, but you know what that is. Yeah, I told you I put it on there.
Yeah. Before I pass it in that direction, just
That's allegedly my signature. Sorry.
Thank you.
Another one for you.
What's this one?
That's the current one. I don't think any of these have been paid, except for if it was going to be past the payment date. Well, there you are, 154. So that's a direct.
Yeah, that was the card.
So I remember that one.
Sign it twice.
Turn over the page.
Tell me that.
Thank you.
Right, well they're signing now. What are we up to now? Unity Bank mandate.
That's, but it's already
To
been
ratify,
yes,
all
to
done.
ratify. Can we have quick show of hands? Because it was on the show of
For the-
hands
for
for
the
the
bank
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 mandate.
mandate, ratify Sue, Wadey, Tony and Julian as signatories for the Unity Bank.
Yes, you can vote for yourself.
Tony? Yeah? Yeah.
Did you catch that? Yes, sorry, thank you.
Right, we've done that as well. We've done the payments from May.
Yes.
Parish matters. So, to grant permission for Bonfire Society's Midsummer Festival and to follow with the the Northern Village Hall Boot Fair is now not being held. So,
So that bit can come out.
yeah, that bit needs to be removed.
But you're still having a Midsummer Festival? Yes.
to allow parking on St Francis Hill Stables car park, but work to surfacing will be required prior to it to make it suitable for parking.
That's actually the field, not the car park.
That's the field.
Oh,
That's field
thank you.
1.
Yeah.
Field 1.
You're getting good.
Yes, are you happy with this, councillors?
Yes. Do you have to agree?
Yes.
We're not allowed
Yes.
to.
Yeah. So who can vote?
Yeah.
You can't vote.
The boot fair's cancelled.
Yeah.
You can't do it, can you? No, you can't.
So how many is 3?
So
Is
you
5
can
can
vote.
vote.
I can vote.
So this is just to let you guys. Not you guys. Just
It's to let the Bonfire Society have their share on the...
Yes, just so up.
Do we get paid
I'm,
for that?
I'm happy with that.
Well,
We don't get paid.
You can't
Before you do
charge
that,
to use the
I mean,
field.
what servicing is required?
For what?
Well, it says some resurfacing is required
Surface it, yeah?
prior to car parking.
Just
So
needs
what
rolling.
resurfacing is required for the state?
Yeah.
The field
No,
needs
to
to be
the
rolled.
field. So the field needs to
It's
be
not resurfaced,
made.
needs to be rolled.
It's not resurfaced.
Yeah, so it's not the car park, sorry.
But obviously that's down to the Bonfire Society will have to make it good and to roll and
We grease
like
Mr
that.
Pratt's hands with silver.
Well, either way, I mean, whether you choose to grease people's palms or not, that's up to you. It's down to the Bonfire Society, mate, not the parish council.
I know. I was wearing a different hat then.
Would we, clearly, so would we like to take a vote?
Those of you that can vote. 1, 2, I'm going to have to write this down. So it's Paul, Jack,
Tony, Jackie,
Tony, Carol.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah,
And are
that's
you
it.
all saying yes?
They're all bonfire.
Yes, so supported. Right, thank you.
It's Julian bonfire.
Okay. So, to discuss arrangements for the D-Day event, lighting of the beacons.
I think the Bonfire Society are very kindly officiating for it, aren't they?
I brought it up at the last Bonfire Society meeting and there was support, but they would need to be formally asked.
You would hope that they would support us if we're letting them use our field now, wouldn't you? Let's be honest. I mean, you can't grease some people's palms and not help us be.
Surprising, that. Surprising.
Yeah, funny that, huh?
But yeah, need some sort of formal request.
Right.
Just an email or whatever, just saying, please organise it.
Right.
You'll also, which I can arrange, need a risk assessment. It's a public event.
Yeah.
Yes, I was about to say whose insurance is covering it.
It's happening on Parish Council land.
That doesn't necessarily mean anything.
No.
Well, Bonfire Society will be...
You're lighting it?
No, you'll be lighting it.
But it is...
Bonfire Society are happy to prepare the beacon ready to be lit.
Right. And what, I've got to light it, have I?
We'll have a long stick with a light on.
Chair.
But
Get a nice strong man to stand, sit on his shoulders.
but it's taking place on parish council lands, therefore
Been a while.
parish insurance will want to see a risk assessment, I suspect.
Yes, the parish council would like to see a risk. So really what I'm trying to get to, the crux of the matter...
Get to it, Mary.
...is who is responsible, totally.
Would it not be you guys if you're getting, not you guys, but the Northiam Bonfire Society, if they're getting it ready, would you not be the ones that would be responsible for that?
We would be responsible for making sure that the beacon itself...
That's what I'm talking about, yeah.
But we wouldn't be responsible for the
crowd
control.
No, I get that, but
Because
if
the
they're
crowd control,
responsible
if
for
it's
something
in
that
the
I'm
parish,
lighting,
yeah.
surely it would be, that would be their insurance, even though I were lighting it because it's effectively
Who is
been,
your insurance with?
I don't know who our
But it's
insurance
So
is.
what happened when we had the coronation one?
Yeah.
What was the one
What
that happened
happened
last
then?
beacon?
The reason I'm asking is because
Yeah.
obviously you think if it's the Bonfire Society putting it together to make it be lit, but I'm the one lighting it, then surely that's the Bonfire Society because they're the ones.
But
that
the
have got
crowd around it
But the crowd around
should
it
be.
Yeah.
Can I,
is the parish council.
Because
Yeah,
it's a parish council
event.
can I also say,
Oh, right,
sorry,
okay,
sorry,
I've got this
Jack,
straight,
with
okay.
regard to the biodiversity issues with regard to Beaconsfield?
Oh right, yeah.
Well, no.
No, yeah.
Brian has been doing a lot of work up there with the mowing and things like that, getting ready for biodiversity. I don't know, what is going to be a few hundred people up there that's going to bugger up possibly the work that you've actually done.
It's a dual use field. It's got a beacon on it. It's our beacon.
I know that, as I'm involved with biodiversity, I need to consider that as well, you know.
It's going to have people tramping up over it.
Okay, well...
And it's going to be for what, 2 hours?
Is there, sorry Madam Chair,
Half an hour.
is there no way that the area you've done, Brian, can be...
Oh yeah, right.
Cordoned.
Cordon it off.
So what date is this? Remind me.
6th of
6th of June.
Are you
A D-Day.
Saturdays? No, it's not.
Yes,
It's a
it's
Thursday.
for D-Day.
Oh, so
The
So-
80th
That's
anniversary.
going to be really bad news. Right, okay.
Right.
Well, there's bits there that could be mum.
The D-Day was about
Well, this way, the
Well,
next
the-
one you've got your flowers, is there no way
Yeah.
you could call that...
Stop people walking on it.
well, no, it can be resolved.
They're quite expensive. But anyway,
Yeah,
yes.
they are.
Perhaps you could liaise with Brian.
Okay,
Yeah,
so-
but can we liaise? But I think something does need to
Okay.
be done.
So,
Liaise with you, right.
So councillors, let me see if I've understood this right.
Yes.
So, it sounds like it's a council event. In
Correct.
which case,
Correct.
The parish council
Insurance.
will be covering it, and as you have a beacon lighting and you're using a proper experienced group,
Then we're good to go.
that's good for that.
Yeah.
But how many people and what else are you thinking of doing?
Nothing, they just come out and
That's it.
watch just the lighting of the beacon.
Like a beacon.
Excellent. I'll write the risk assessment, and I will need to meet you to see where your wildflower is, to see what we can come up with.
Do we know what time we're lighting it?
No,
Have we been...
9:15, according to Bruno.
Bruno, he's
I'm going to
still
make sure
there,
I've got
is he?
no hairspray on my hair.
I think it's on 9:15.
I've got a risk assessment from one of the Jubilees years ago.
Oh, okay.
So I'll send that
Well,
to you.
it's just crowd control. How many people do you think will turn up? It's a large village, and you have good turnout for your things.
Depends how well it's advertised, doesn't it?
Depends on the weather.
And depends how, yes, if it's nice weather and if
Depends
it's
how many
advertised.
sausages Madam Chair brings for lighting the beacon.
But you're not feeding anyone or giving
No.
any
No.
drinks.
No.
Oh, that's
No.
simple.
No.
Sadly none.
Good chat there, didn't it?
There'll be
No, there will be some
fireworks
people
over
there.
that.
No, not. Literally just a
Surely
lighting of the
No,
beacon.
no.
Are you not saying any words, no blessings, no names, no...
I don't think so.
I haven't read all the ins and outs of the instructions.
Neither have I.
To read the tribute, that's what I think is going to happen.
It's just, it's called the Light of Peace, isn't it?
Well, the lamp, yeah, there's a variety.
There is some bell ringing going on, but I don't know if they're doing it that time.
Before, isn't it? It's supposed to be just before.
Yeah, there's three. I know the bell ringers belong to 3 parishes, so they've got to come from 3 different churches.
That's nice. Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
There is a tribute that you're supposed to read out,
Oh, that's fine.
and that's it.
Fine.
Yes, that's...
Can you do that,
So,
John?
John's got a beautiful voice.
No, it's not here. It's not here.
Okay, that's me then.
Please go well. I'm going to a wedding that day, so let's hope that I don't have to come home.
All right, I'll try not to drag you back. Okay, so we'll take it back on the fact that we agree, or we just needed to discuss it. What do you have?
No, you're agreeing that they
We're
can
good.
hold the council is holding, and that they'll be requesting the Bonfire Society to light it, and I'll speak to the insurance company and my risk assessor and meet that gentleman over there.
And send an email to Lee, say.
Okay, are we all in agreement with that?
Yes.
Yep. Show of hands, please.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah,
very
yeah.
much, everybody. Unanimous. Okay, so on
just
to
one thing. The gate from Beacon Lane into the field is a bit dicky, isn't it, Pete?
No, it's sort of buggered up.
So we need,
If you
most
see
has
the,
got,
roads.
we need to remove it, don't we, before that evening and put it well out of the way. So
Well, hopefully, we might be able to get it, depending on how quickly we can do it, get actually the post replaced. If we can get a contractor involved, as well up to £500 or whatever it is.
Actually, and if you're having an event there, it would be a
Part of the
reasonable
risk assessment.
emergency thing to do.
Madam
Yeah,
Chair,
so you don't have to worry about it.
the last time I got stuff repaired for Beaconsfield, DS Chestnut, done it?
Yeah.
That was the small one in Dixter Lane. Remember right, yeah?
Yeah.
So I don't know if, whether you got to get 3 quotes or whether it's your chair, you can go ahead.
Okay.
But they done the last one, I know that.
Thank
We
you.
probably won't need 3 quotes,
It's
though,
going
will
to
we?
be under, it's going to be under 500 quid.
That's what I'm saying, it's only
Clark
five.
can approve it.
No, I don't think we need 3
Well,
quotes.
yes.
But if we can repair it by then, it's not going to be an issue.
Should cost that.
If somebody had a concern that if the gate wasn't there possibly caravanners and things like that will.
I was just thinking
other
taking it
access
away for the
just
evening.
for,
so-
if we can get it repaired,
Yeah,
they're
I
done.
fully agree.
Okay. All right. Thank you. On to St Francisfield next, to consider a revised quotation for Bachelor Monk House to advise regarding the demand and nature of demand for stables in the area. So, if I'm right, very good, Jonathan, it's just with regard to find out what we can actually put on St Francisfield effectively.
Yes, it's general advice about the right approach to reletting the stables. How many horses, how much land,
Whether
terms
it's
of
be
the
commercial.
lease, options related to that. Because obviously, if you vary the number of horses and the amount of land, then that will affect the rental value.
It's not so much the rental value, we need to know how big it's going to be, the use of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
How much of it is going to be
Yeah.
used,
Yeah.
because that's what we need to make the planning application.
Absolutely.
And that's what the traffic consultant needs.
Yep.
To decide on whether East Sussex Highways will let us get away with it.
It's, to ascertain what the usage is going to be before we move
So
forward.
basically, we need to have that to go in line with the planning application.
Yeah, because I think
Yeah.
also if we
Yeah,
don't
okay.
know what we're going to put on it, then
Yeah.
we don't know
Know
how
what
we're
we're
going
gonna
to
plan for.
help with the CIC to make it self-sufficient going
Okay.
forward
That's fine.
for
Thank
income,
you.
and the
Yeah.
income is what's
Just wanted to
important.
clarify that,
Yeah.
yeah, thank you.
Okay, so... Hello.
It just woke up.
I've been doing lots of work, but the just a thought, because Sussex Highways, the traffic, and we know that was an issue.
Yeah.
Will Bachelor Monk House be able to advise on whether different sizes of operation, in terms of number of horses, might affect the
Determine.
traffic flow?
I think they should be able to determine that, because obviously whether it's commercial or it's livery, etc., then no.
It's going to be an iterative process between whichever agent is appointed, and you've got the option of two, or and the traffic consultant. The traffic consultant has said, if we don't increase the amount of traffic using the road, using the drive beyond what the Blue Cross had, he doesn't think there's a problem. But he said there's a possibility of getting a little bit margin over that.
Okay.
And that's why it's an iterative process. We need.
When we know what we're going to use it for, then we go to the traffic consultant and ask him. And when we've got both of those are lined up, that we then go for the planning application.
Okay.
Okay, so a vote please to say whether you are happy to support going for the advice from Bachelor Monk House.
Jonathan, can you remind me what the figure was?
Yes, I can.
Quotation
Yes,
for,
Have you
was it
noted it?
1,500 quid for phase
I
one?
think it was 1,700.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I haven't got that figure in front of me, but I think it was 1,700.
Yeah, I did. Somebody
I
was
think
going
the other firm quoted 2,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
BFT or
Yes.
yes.
And Bachelor Monk House do have the advantage that they advised before, so they know the site.
What do you want to add? Because I heard Ian take a breath.
Because there is we are voting for an open-ended figure. There's no finance on here.
1,700, we've just said that.
Yeah, but that's not on here. Should it be on the agenda, the actual cost of that application? And as there's no cost, we're saying yes or no to something that is...
Well, it would be on the agreement, it would be on the minute that now that you've been told how much, it would have been handy to have been given the quote.
The quotes were circulated in the last paper in February.
That's right.
They circulated with the last papers in March for the meeting we didn't have.
Well, I won't have seen that. But is it? Are those papers online?
Yes.
Phone me. If someone can look it up, we can say exactly how much it is.
Do you wish me to send it to you?
No, we need it now.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I'm not meaning to be awkward, but just...
No, make it right. Yeah.
It was something that I mentioned I would like the quote, but there was a lot on this agenda.
Yeah.
So So if it's on the website, Ian, you have to go into council documents, and then there's one that says agendas, and then in agendas there's one that says associated papers.
Submitted report as asked.
I'm just finding it on my emails, but I'm not finding it.
Coming back.
Here we are, here it is.
I just need to know how much
well
is the
done.
quote.
Just found it already.
That was the total.
I can see it.
Because I remember thinking,
It's 1,500 quid for items 1 to 3, that was the first one. It was 1,750 for the other people.
okay, and is that 1,500 quid plus VAT?
Yes.
So now you've got a set figure. Do you not need that? Yeah?
No, I've got a copy.
Thank you very much.
And expenses.
Yes, there will be what's they called, disbursements.
Yeah.
Things like when they need to get look into the land registry to get a document like that, it's £6 or 12 quid or something like that. And travel.
No, there was a sheet missing from the back of it.
Oh, thank you.
Gosh, travel as well.
Yeah.
Petrol's gone up.
Yeah, you think? You know, like, here's my quotation, but I'm going to charge you to get there as well.
No, that was their quotation. It was that fixed fee plus out-of-pocket expenses and disbursements. There was, I mean, I don't think there would be many.
Okay. Right, so can we have a vote on who supports that to go ahead, please?
Absolutely, get it going.
Hands. Tony? Do you
So
support it?
we're voting on for £1,500 plus VAT.
Yeah, do you agree?
And disbursements.
And disbursements, yeah.
Yeah, which we can't.
£1,500.
Yeah.
But that'll be
Are
on
we good?
top.
Julian, good, yes?
Yeah,
that
sorry.
was not
Yes.
voted.
John, yeah, okay.
Yes.
Right.
Could I get an inflatable hand?
Yeah, I think you should. We need one on a stick, yep. That's it, so as long as with the gavel, I think we need the vote cards as well. Consider quotes to carry out phase 2 testing of cemetery. Expenditure will come from the S106 cemetery funds. Have you got that quote there as well, Julie, for Mary to see?
Jackie probably knows it.
Well,
Or Jackie, if you haven't.
there are, yeah.
Sorry, what did you say?
The quote to carry out the phase 2 testing for the cemetery, which
There's
is
a question of whether we need it at this stage.
okay.
You put in the stage 1 with
Yeah.
the planning application.
Yeah.
If the stage 1, when they give it to us, says they need the stage 2 now, then we've got to do it. But if they don't, we could wait until we get planning consent, if we get planning consent.
We hold off then, I say. We hold off then, I say. There's no point spending money if we don't necessarily need
we're talking
it.
about something in the range of 5,000 quid.
Yeah, I'd say we hold off personally.
What you asked us to do was to get a revised quote for phase 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which we've done.
Yes.
But we're not asking for approval
No.
to go ahead with it.
No.
No.
Well, the other thing is, if we wait until we get the planning consent, we're talking 6 months in the future, the way things are going. It'll probably have to be a revised quote anyway.
But it comes out of the S106 cemetery.
Correct,
it
yes,
does.
correct.
And so is the
Okay.
can I clarify that 5,000
Yes.
price? Is that the requoted price?
Mm-hmm.
Don't quote me on the 5,000, it's approximately that.
Okay.
Okay, so consider those quotes. So basically, we just hold off. We don't really need to agree anything, do we? To consider a proposal from the CIC to plant Christmas trees in the ungrazed area of Field 1, which is the field that you want to park in, Pete.
It's a brilliant
And
idea.
it's my understanding that it's just a thing they're going to do for the time being. It's not like they're not taking that land and they're keeping it. It's just something because there's nothing going on in it at the moment.
It
so
does
they're
take
just
5
using
years
it.
for Christmas trees to grow.
Yeah,
Carol, let's be
but
fair.
my thing
It's gonna be
is,
the
if it
next
comes
5
to it,
years.
they just have to
It's
get
at
be
the
miniature
back.
Christmas trees, put them in the pie outside your front door.
Where you're going up the drive and look at the field on the left,
Field on the left.
right at the back of that field, a secondary fence has been put in between the houses.
There. There's the
Yeah.
entrance from, there's where the old car is sitting in the drive. There's the walkway through to Jesmead at the end. Are we talking about that bit there?
So at the end of this drive.
They're getting all
Behind
big and
Bill's
nice
cottage.
gardens.
Yes, just Bill's.
Back,
Yeah.
where they
No,
put a double
David
fence.
put mine up.
Well, the first thing is, I think we ought to ask the people in his houses to look onto it, what they think.
It's our land.
I know it's our land.
Yeah, but
they are our adjoining owners.
I've got water over there. No, thank you.
They are our residents.
So these aren't going to grow particularly high, because my understanding is the idea that you're growing them to sort of standard Christmas tree height, and then
selling.
They're getting sold off.
The idea is
take 5 years to do
yeah.
so.
Yeah. So 6 foot is you can have a fence that's 6 foot.
6 foot's quite a tall Christmas tree. What was the plan with them? They sell them.
They make it.
That's the idea, is to grow them and sell them.
Yeah. I just happen to have friends who planted Christmas trees in fields, and they didn't sell them. So now they've got a forest.
Yep.
People in the village want Christmas trees. They
I
might have to go and
I planted probably 450 Christmas trees for my brother in.
I'll buy one. Put my name down. I'll have one.
Okay, so what are we saying?
Well, as long as the people in the... We are custodians of land that belongs to the village. These are villagers who are backing onto this area.
Yeah.
I think we have a
duty to ask
a
them.
duty to ask them.
Yeah.
How high is the hedge there now?
It's not fair. It's a various different heights.
There's just trees really in their gardens.
Well, can I point out the residents of Beale's Cottage, who at the moment it'll mostly affect, are sitting at the back here. So we could just ask.
Hello, how do you feel about that?
Yes.
Well, as long as they don't get too high, we haven't got a problem.
That's 6 foot.
6 foot?
That's sort of reasonable for you.
Yeah.
Drainage.
It would help with
Well,
drainage.
that's
Yeah.
exactly, yeah.
There you go, Julia.
Always a positive, thank you very much.
We can always chop them down.
Yeah,
exactly.
okay,
Okay,
it's just sell them.
Yeah, that's to make some money, right?
You get a free one.
Oh.
Okay, can everyone please tell me whether they have to support that or not? So, are we happy to go ahead and let DCIC plant Christmas trees?
To support it.
Show of hands,
Plus
please.
the neighbours.
I mean, if you thought it was...
At 6 foot, yeah, I don't think they should go any bigger than that. It's not fair, like we said. Yeah. You can have a fence at 6 foot, can't you? So,
Isn't there a thought for planting wild grass that we could keep reusing on the village green?
cute idea, Jackie.
One for the church. I don't know, it wasn't mine.
I think they'd be too big, because they want really whoppy ones. Yeah.
Right, okay.
They're going to plant them that size. We'll have to wait a few years.
5 years.
5 years.
They're getting a bit big in Michael's garden.
Okay, so we're good with that, yeah? So next, to consider the request from the Pond House to confirm that after 28 years of the owners of the Pond House have used and maintained the area around the pond within the charge of SFF, the SFF CIC Parish Council are not about to ask for the boundaries to be rectified.
I didn't realise that it was part of St Francis Field.
No, well, I had a little look the other day actually, I didn't realise it either.
It's not
to be
shown on
honest.
here, the boundary's not shown on here.
It was originally part of the land that Peter Heyman sold to Blue Cross.
Right.
Which is the land registry is 2001.
There it is, and that's
Okay.
our...
But Peter put my understanding is Peter put when it was his land, he put a fence around the pond to stop animals falling into it. Because it's down the slope. And then it just stayed like that. And Pond House used it because nobody else used it. Adopted it, yes. And it's a piece of land, frankly, it's a piece of land we've got no use for.
Yeah.
So
they were obviously good adopters.
The pond remain, may I ask?
Yeah, it's their pond.
Yeah.
That's fine. And that's what I'm asking. I didn't
Would
want
you
to-
like some background?
yes.
Yeah, that would be really useful.
Fire away.
Okay. Land registry plans.
Wait. Excuse me. Can we have a 1 minute pause while the chair just
Disappears for a
disappears for a second?
It's a quick bag.
Try any of my parish councillors.
I
don't want to go
be
over the top.
Okay, sorry, Bridget. Really sorry.
The Pond House is in Beales Lane. It is on the right-hand side. It's the last house on the right that has 2 double 5-bar gates and a wooden garage. Included in the Pond House land is a large pond, there's a surprise, onto on the eastern side is what we lovingly know as the afternoon field. However, I believe now it's known as field number 10. Correct. When we bought the house 20 years ago, it was made clear in the sales specifications that the boundary of the pond, of what was then Little Bozell, actually crossed across the pond. And so that there was an imaginary fence down from the corner, up at the top, an oak tree, down past, round the back of the garage to the road, crossing across the pond. We were fully aware of that, our solicitor at the time made us aware of it, and we decided not to take any action at that point. Latterly, we got into conversation with the Blue Cross, who were aware of that boundary and were happy for us to maintain that area, that end of the pond and the grass and everything there. In discussion with the previous owner of the pond house, who owned it from 1997 to 2004, he also was aware of that imaginary boundary, but also maintained that land there. So we are selling the pond house. We have a buyer, and this question that you have, 22.4, has not come from us. It has come from our buyer, stroke, and or their solicitor, who you well know now like to dot every I, cross every T, even if they don't exist. Our buyer has been made well aware. The sales particulars for the pond house now, I have copied of it if you want to see it, because you can see it still online, say that the boundary goes across the pond. So it has been made clear at every point that that small section of land that Peter Heyman sectioned off, including the end of the pond, is not part of the sale of the pond house.
Okay.
We have made it clear at every visit from our potential buyer. It's been made clear to all agents and all solicitors involved. Our buyer is happy with that status quo.
Okay.
However, it's probably, I'm afraid you could imagine the solicitor saying, oh,
Always.
hang on a minute. So what they have said is, well, they might want to put a fence up, you know, if you start asking questions or something. So that question came from their solicitors, via our solicitor, to us, requesting us to ask, well, initially we thought it would be a CIC issue. Jonathan very kindly redirected us towards the parish council, and so that is why we contacted the parish council. So we're very grateful for you to consider this, but nobody has any designs on that bit of land at all. We have maintained it, we just enjoy looking across it. We have newts, frogs, moorhens, ducks, slow worms, grass snakes, orchids. Anything else, Brian? Yeah. So we just look across it, we walk around it, we enjoy it, we maintain it. We spent our own money on the pond, actually having it dredged out at our end so that it drained properly, that it doesn't ever dry out like it used to. That's the story. So
my niece has forever been in love with your house, and she vows and declares that when she gets older she will own your house. I know, she's 12 now, and literally since she was about 4 or 5.
Have we possibly spoken to
Phoebe,
her in the lane, I seem to
you
remember?
have.
Yes.
Yeah, she's absolutely in love with it.
But that's the so the question has been asked, is the parish council going to suddenly start wanting to put a fence down from the oak tree, down the bank, across the pond somehow, round the back of the garage and across to the field?
And take responsibility for the maintenance of it.
Well, exactly. I mean, I've got, you will have probably seen land registry plans showing the actual boundary, including the fence that Peter Heyman put around the pond to protect it from wildlife and everything.
Okay.
That's right. That's the St Francis Fields side of the boundary.
Yeah.
That's outside of the boundary. I've got a drawing here where I've married it together with our new garage that is there. I've ensured that the new garage that we put in when we had the extension done, if you recall some years ago, it does not encroach upon that boundary, just like the previous garage didn't.
Cool. Okay. So to vote then, are we happy for it to remain as it is?
And the new owners have no intention of...
The new owners have no intentions.
She's an elderly woman looking after her 94-year-old father.
Sorry, can I ask though, if we didn't give approval or whatever, what will happen with the sale of your house?
Well, nothing, because the land that isn't part of our title has never been included in the sale of our property.
So would it just be left?
I mean, even if you put a fence along it, you could still walk straight across it and see the lovely view across to the fields.
Yeah. And the new owner, sorry, the potential, we haven't exchanged, is very keen to be involved in the CIC. She is a very like-minded person, and she would be very happy to maintain the land as it is now.
Yeah.
She doesn't have designs on it, as I say, she is an older woman with a 94-year-old dad.
But it's a bit of an anomaly, isn't it? Because whose responsibility is it for maintaining safety on that bit of land if it's ours? If your elderly purchaser should go onto it to maintain it and falls and it's...
No, he has dementia, as my mother did when we had the annex built.
But anybody going on there to maintain it, I'm not trying to be difficult, it just strikes me as being a bit of an anomaly.
But it's not, if you don't think about it as being St Francis Fields land, and it's always been looked after by the people who live in Pond House, it's been like that for however many years.
I think it's probably their land anyway, legally.
I know. I wasn't going to say that, Julian.
But
Yeah, but to get ownership,
we
you have
will
to fence
need
it off, don't we?
we will need a formal response, please.
Okay.
You don't have to fence it off, you
You
just
don't
have to
have to
prove that you've
fence
looked
it.
after
It's
it.
called that first possession.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So would we have to get something from Blue Cross to say yes, they acknowledge?
We would
They've
have
only owned it
to.
since 2020.
No, but there was a statutory declaration made by the
21
previous
years or
owner,
something.
dated 19...
Well, you've got affidavits.
the affidavit, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had declarations. When we were sort of checking on the whole issue, we did an affidavit back in 2010. Okay, along with the previous owner.
What was the previous owner's date?
Oh, he lived there from 1997.
1997.
Okay.
Bought it in 2004.
Thank you. Did you get that, Julian? Okay, so can we agree that we are happy to support that and that we will give a formal response to say that the boundary will not be moved?
Yes.
You're happy for it to remain as it is?
As is, yes.
Remain as is, yeah.
For the time being.
Yeah?
For the time being.
Yes.
All they're
Yeah,
asking.
Julian, are you
Yeah.
happy for that?
Yeah.
With all the information that we have?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just concerned that we are covered.
We are.
Yeah.
They have affidavits and etc. over there.
No, that's fine. That's to do with the ownership of the land.
Yeah.
I'm talking about it's our land. If somebody's a responsibility.
Oh, sorry, apologies.
If someone
yeah,
falls
that.
into that pond and damages themselves, it's our responsibility. It's
I
our
think it's
responsibility.
unlikely to be ever come back to us if they've already agreed on a contract.
Unlikely gets you into.
What do you think, Mary?
So how deep is this pond?
Just formally
How
give it
deep,
to them.
how deep is the pond?
I would be happy to sell it to them as long
How
as
deep is
for a
the
pound.
At that end,
Sorry, hang
it
on,
is
guys.
minimal because it has a big
Silted up.
It's silted up. It has flag iris all round it.
Sorry, Jackie, hang on a second.
Right, okay, so the thing with insurance and ponds is a lot to do with, so you are allowed to expect people to have a certain level of common
Which is what I apply when I mow it.
Yes. I mean, you can put up a sign, you could decide to put up a sign, beware deep water, but many
Well, Sandra,
insurance companies
It is not,
would
no.
say that really doesn't make any odds. Especially if you're insured with Zurich, they'll tell you it doesn't matter how many signs you have, it doesn't make. You are allowed to expect people to have some common sense, but at the same time, you do have to have a certain level of. You do have to have a bit of care. It's a very difficult balance. So the level of the depth of the pond is quite important. How deep does the pond get in the end?
At that end, it's a gradient. So you'd have to go out probably 1 metre, 2 metres before it gets maybe half a metre deep.
If we're writing to confirm that we're happy for them to keep using the area, can we not just add something to the bottom that they take
responsibility
for the use of the land?
And their visitors.
Yeah, and their visitors,
We would welcome any members of the parish council to come and visit.
Do we have to have a protest?
It has been done.
I think if we can add something along the lines of the people who use
At
it
their own
do
risk.
so at their own risk and responsibility.
Okay.
Never mind.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're very grateful to you. Thank you very much.
Are we in agreement with that then, everyone?
Yeah, I think that's a sensible option.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All in favour of that? Perfect. We've got like 9 minutes, don't we? Any external meetings with representatives of Northiam Parish Council to allow members to ask any questions and to receive the minutes?
Have there been any?
No.
Perfect. Items for the next agenda. Response to local plan out for consultation till the 23rd of July. Possible extraordinary meeting. This is what, Julian, this is the thing that you've asked about, isn't it? So it's just to note that it's on there, but we do need to have a meeting to discuss it at greater length, I do believe.
Yes. There are 80 policies that apply
so
strategically.
400 pages long, something.
Yes. And
There you
there
go.
are 209 questions they want you to answer.
Yeah, so I think it's a little bit much for this evening's meeting, but just to know that it's on there, please.
May I make a slight suggestion?
Yeah.
I've divided it into 5 different categories.
Well done.
And I was going to suggest that I send round and ask people if they would like to take on one of these categories.
Oh, I thought you were going to do them all and just divided
No,
it
no,
up.
no.
You should be so lucky.
If you like, I'll take the housing one because it's the longest and it's the most technical.
All right.
plan.
That's your bag.
The other ones are to do with landscape, biodiversity,
Okay.
whatever.
Okay.
So if I divide it up and I'll put it on the website, put it on our, so people can see, and people can bid for which one they would like to do.
Okay.
Go onto the website, you can see the things in there, answer the questions. A lot of them are, do you agree with our policy?
Okay. Thank you. So bank reconciliations for January to April and asset register at the 31st of March. That's just to be noted, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it has
For
to
the
be
next-
correct. So the next meeting, you will also have your AGAR probably to agree, because you'll run out of time. So in your June meeting, you'll have your AGAR, which is why the asset register needs to be done, because it should tie up with the AGAR. It doesn't matter too much if it's a few numbers out, you can alter that on the AGAR when you agree. What else? You want to know about the Bowls Club? I think that's it.
Yeah, are we good? Okay, so next to just adjourn the meeting then to
9:25.
any questions that anyone may have? Is there any other questions?
Can I do my bollards outside Johnson's? They're being done by the Conservation Society.
Yeah.
Taken
Yes.
up the task.
Yes, you've done.
And
Thank
are
you.
pursuing it.
Thank you.
Are they going to fill in the holes as well?
Installed next Tuesday.
Fine.
Oh, perfect. Hey, bollards are
Nothing to do with me. This was Conservation Society.
wonderful.
Are they taking all the water out of the holes?
No, they're heaving those.
Well, I'm almost determined to go down with a bucket and just go like this.
I've just got to Ben's just actually had his hand up just before Julian jumped in. Sorry, Karen. Yeah, hello.
I was just wondering if anyone on the council can explain how, if the S106 money for the football pavilion can only be spent on the pavilion and the pitch, how 30,000 of it has already been spent on car park matting over the past however many years, because car park matting is not a pitch improvement and it is not a showering facility.
Well, it was signed off by Rother.
Right, so the question then is, if Rother are willing to sign off on it, how do you know that they're not willing to sign off on playground improvements, given
Because
that
they
the
said
playground
so.
is part of Northiam playing fields, and Northiam money is designated to Northiam playing fields. It is not designated to any specific.
It's designated to the improvement of the pitch and the changing facilities.
And car park matting, presumably.
Yes.
Well,
It'll
how
do.
is car park matting? Car park matting wasn't in the original agreement. The original agreement between Persimmon and Rother states that 110,000 of that money is supposed to be spent on pitch improvements over the course of 10 years. 20,000 of it only is supposed to be spent on the pavilion and various other bits and pieces throughout. So if you're going to stick by that,
And Rother have now confirmed that the money can be distributed to any of the uses as long as it is applied to the recreation ground improvements.
right,
It
and
doesn't
why
have,
the playground count as recreation ground?
because it doesn't
It's
include,
the
it
same
isn't
plot
include,
of land, it is under the same title under land registry.
but it's not included in the description, which is in the S106 agreement for the recreation ground improvement contribution.
We got legal
It
advice
only
saying that
says
it can actually be, we've received legal advice that it can be for either. It can be for
Then I suggest you send that legal advice to Jeff Pyra, who was the officer who gave us the letter, which we received 8 weeks ago.
It was just before the last meeting.
Just before the last meeting, setting this out clearly.
Should we copy it to you yourself?
Yes. That's
I
fine.
don't know your name.
Mary.
Mary.
Philo. PH. P for Papa. H for Hotel. ILO. The only other comment I can add is that the Section 106 agreements that I've seen, if they want it spent on the play area, they specifically put the play area category in. So I was going to ask afterwards if there had been a specification, an amount on the Section 106 for play areas.
For Donsmead, yes. was the specific.
Yeah, so they've considered, it's likely they've already considered play areas.
There's a misunderstanding with this.
Is it you that misunderstood it, or have we misunderstood it?
I think that you have misunderstood.
Okay.
So Northiam Playing Fields is Northiam Playing Fields. That is the title under land registry. It includes, as part of that, the playground. There is nothing in the S106 agreement itself that says that the money can be spent, can't be spent on the playground. It says that it has to be spent on Northiam Playing Fields. Northiam Playing Fields encompasses the playground.
The play area.
It also encompasses.
And I think we should look at it personally.
But we've got still money. We've got still money.
This
for
is
the-
what I was questioning
for
right at the
for
beginning. I've
we have got
questioned
still
this,
money
haven't I,
for
right
the
from the
play-
beginning?
specifically for
Yeah.
the playground. So it's not like there's no money going to the playground.
Just by looked into this from Robert's point of view.
Yeah.
In touch with Robert's legal department.
Okay.
He's checked it all out. He sent the letter out to the council stating quite clearly that it says it's for the playing field and towards the pavilion, sports pavilion.
This is why I requested that letter be
Jeff now is
sent
leaving,
across.
so you now have to get in touch with Craig.
Craig.
Oh, Craig.
Craig, I'll get his last name, I can't get his last
Sten-
name. But Jeff was quite adamant that
Stenhoff.
it can only be spent on the playing field
And
and sports pavilion. And that's what Robert, he was looking at, he went into in depth.
I mean, ultimately, we don't lose the money, do we?
No.
That's ultimately it. So if it means it can be spent on other areas within, which is
Absolutely.
the playground, things like that, then
The playground,
do it.
But
the playground will have money spent in it because there's still
We have
money
the
coming
seal
in.
money for that.
Yeah,
So
it's
the
coming in. It's
The
coming
playground
in.
will be
I'm
fine.
excited about that. We're just getting some more actually, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's another 32,000
Yeah.
to come.
Goodness.
Yeah.
You're awash with money.
Sure.
It's all the houses.
It's like we are quite
What else though?
removing the greenery.
Nice position to be in.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Ben. Is there any other
There was
questions?
a lady round here
Karen.
had her hand up.
Hello.
Karen Hailing, I'm not sure whether it's allowed actually, because it just coming out of the discussion of the verges, can I mention verges? Would it be possible to negotiate with somebody to get a load of soil and go around the village and fill all the holes?
On the green bit.
You know, because the trouble is you don't want to get topsoil, you don't want good stuff. Somebody must have some rubbish soil that we could go. I mean, I am just out of my mind that we've lost 3 foot of the verge outside
Oh,
Russellwood.
Outside.
Outside where?
Russellwood, up Dixter Road. And that was a tractor, wretched giga clear, parked their van, tractor came up, went straight through the verge and just sloughed off the whole lot.
Yeah.
All that soil went down the hill and it just can't be replaced, it can't be flattened, you know, and so it's gone. And if anything ever happens, we'll just get somebody tarmac and they'll tarmac to that new 3 foot, which was done a few years ago when we lost 2 foot. I mean, that's getting wider and wider and wider and wider. And I just, you know, like outside Jemson's, those great
Those
holes,
holes.
soil in it. And I'm just wondering if somebody, and I can only think of the parish council or the conservation society, centrally got a lorry load and we all put in a bit. Come on, I have some up here.
I was going to do guerrilla gardening. I
Oh,
thought go
I
out at
wonder
night.
if there's any like farmers around. They normally got like some excess soil hanging around where they've
But I was thinking, could the council
yeah, but I don't know
coordinate
how we'd
something
do
like
that. How we'd engage with the farmers. It's a bit.
Wouldn't the county council do this?
No, I'm thinking about this.
So I think they've done Jemson's verge in the past.
Have they?
Yeah.
Okay, that's news to me. I know we took that.
I'm
to
sure
Bob
Stephen
last
said
day.
they had.
I'm sitting here. Sitting here slightly
They dealt
worried
with the verges
that
at Jefferson's.
if you're doing things like that by the
Previously.
highways, you might need a licence and so on. So I'd rather
Yes.
do this. Quite frankly.
Have you?
Yeah. It just. I think what you say sounds sensible. Actually, one other thing
I think it might be possible if the parish council contracts a highway approved contractor.
Yes.
starts being expensive.
Correct. Yeah.
I just want somebody with a load of soil.
Well, actually no, sometimes your grass cutters are approved highways contractors as well. Especially if they're doing highways verges, they must be approved.
Yeah, unfortunately they can't on the verges.
We have
Yes.
not
Which is another topic I get agitated
Okay.
about.
Next agenda.
Let's have it considered for the next agenda. Right, okay, thank you, Karen. Anybody else? We're all good? Okay, well with that in mind, we'll close that session and we will adjourn for our confidential part of the meeting.
Hans, you have to vote this.
Can we vote? Do we have to
vote
end?
in private?
Private, yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. Lovely to see you all. Thank you and good night.